One two a 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 one two. We back at it, man. We are back at it, man. Wednesday afternoon, May 7th, 2025. We are live, all platforms. We are live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube as usual. We are live on Twitch. We're also live on Instagram over here. Big salute to the people who are popping up on the gram over here. If you see me on the gram, then you know what's up. We Love Hip Hop Network on YouTube. That's where it's all at. We got a lot of topics to get into today. Let's get into the topics, man. Let's get into the topics. I want to start off with an RIP to Big Apple. We're going to go through his life, his legacy, maybe look up some content of some memories of Big Apple before we get into all of the mess and all of this, effery that we get into in these live streams. So I want to give a RIP to Big Apple and condolences to his family. We're also going to be talking about the Torontology Reddit and the whole Six Buzz takeover that's been going on over there. I have my thoughts on that. So we'll definitely get into that. Sean Leon won't work with Ye. All right. This is a story that popped up on my table, and I was like, wow, I did not know that I knew that Sean Leon was working with Ye, but I didn't know that he had a change of heart. So we'll definitely get into that. I want to tell you all why I don't care about the whole Drake and Kendrick anniversary, the anniversary of the great battle, the battle of the ages. We'll get into that as well. The murder trial for the killer of Pat Stay starts this week. All right, so we're going to go into that and get into some of the details of that. Jadakiss and Fat Joe are starting a podcast just to get into a little bit of an American topic. For the UK and / Toronto, that whole $300 million crypto heist, we're going to get into that and maybe some connections of maybe some Toronto rappers that have something to do with it, but some connections with some of those people. So we'll get into that as well. Twitter might be getting canceled in Canada. All right, that's another topic that I have on my list as far as getting into some political topics. And the Mark Carney and Donald Trump meetup. I want to react to that and see what's going on with some of y'all thoughts as well on our political standings in Canada right now. So gather around, make sure to ball up. We got a lot of stuff to get into. We're going to be probably here, maybe not too long, not a 4-hour live today, just 3 hours tops. All right, so ball up. Let's get it popping. For my people on Instagram, pop out We Love Hip Hop Network on YouTube. Let's get it popping. Let's get it popping. What's going on, gang? We got good weather. You know what I'm saying? It's what 20 degrees right now Celsius. We're doing nice over here. Make sure to smash that like button. Who's in the building right now, man? Franklin Frazier is in the building from earlier. He says, all I have to say is 05 era selling big belt buckles, sugar minute CDs, and the big white Hummer with the Dipset logo driving all over downtown. Yeah, man. RIP to Big Apple. YouTuber No Plug 1 in the building. Scarborough 85 in the building. Axel Jack in the building. Tasha _ Latina in the building. Kaylin Rock in the building. We are out here, man. We are out here. Oh, Academics Report in the building. Yeah, man. We out here, man. We out here. Before I get into anything, though, let's salute the sponsors, and then we can get into our topics. I want to start off by saluting Canna Cans and Diamond Club, okay? Diamond Club is the carrier of Canna Cans. I got a can of that right here. All right. The pith is kept super fresh in these cans, and they got delivery same day in the GTA and across Canada as well. They can get you delivery, not same day, but at least you can get the package all the way in Vancouver if you want. All right. You can get pens, edibles, anything you need. Make sure to hit them up on their Instagram page. That's Canacans _ Canada 1. You could also find them on the Diamond Club page. That's Diamond Club _ Canada 2.0. Let them know that the We Love Hip Hop boys sent you. Actually, when you go to the website, put the code We Love Hip Hop, get yourself a fat discount. Also, I got something over here, something from Pink Kush Factory. I'm drinking on some watermelon drink right here. And actually, in my cup, I got some of this here. What do we call this? I'm salute to Pink Kush Factory. All right, I don't want to get demonetized, so I got to be careful. It's some Kush Nectar Cherry Bomb. All right, pow. I put like 1 tablespoon over here in the cup. Obviously, it's all natural. We're not dealing with any of the things. It's kind of like a natural version of what the young boys do. All right. I'm not trying to demonetize the video, but it's a natural version of what the young boys do. Let me give the Pink Kush Factory a quick read up. At Pink Kush Factory, we're driven by passion for creating vibrant juice blends that ignite your senses. Our diverse flavors are from timeless classics to bold, exotic creations are meticulously designed to deliver a burst of refreshment with every sip. Pink Kush Factory is more than just a juice manufacturer. We're a lifestyle brand committed to inspiring wellness and vitality. Complementing our juices, our chic apparel line lets you stay elevated or hashtag stay elevated with effortless style. Experience the ultimate blend of flavor and fashion with Pink Kush Factory. You can find them on their Instagram page. That's Pink Kush Factory 11. Kush is spelled KXSH. All right. So Pink Kush Factory 11 on Instagram, and let them know that the We Love Hip Hop Boys sent you. Last but not least, I want to give a big salute to my people from Only Loud. I got a nice bag of pit from Only Loud the other day. Okay. Only Loud has their own personal blend that's fire, and then they got a bunch of different legacy blends under their umbrella. Okay. They, the Astro Pink, Sixpence, all those different famous blends. They also got that over there at Only Loud. They got same-day delivery in the GTA, same-day delivery in Ottawa as well, and they can get the package across Canada for you. Make sure to hit them up on their Instagram page. That's Only Loud Canada, and you can also find them on Snapchat, onlyloud.ca. Gang, we are out here, man. DRK in the building. Is that the DRK? If that's my brother DRK, salute to whoever DRK it is. But if that's my brother DRK, hey, that's my guy. Yes. K6 Real in the building. Neil Davis in the building. God is the greatest in the building. Thank you, brother. Thank you, man. I'm out here, man. We just trying to make sure that we keep people updated on everything that's going on. Let's get into some of our news stories. All right. I don't mean to start on a somber note, but I want to send an RIP to Big Apple. All right. Big Apple is a legend, a certified super legend. What my homie PK Herc likes to call a triple OG in this Toronto scene, a pivotal part of the scene when it comes to live shows, connecting us with our American brothers when it comes to this whole rap scene, a visionary when it comes to fashion, when it comes to the I'm not a rapper t-shirts and the whole drugs line. Everything that he had going on was swag magazine. Like this guy, everything that was on the cutting edge of what people were doing in this hip hop game, Big Apple was one of the first to do it. Or if he wasn't one of the first to do it, he was one of the flyest to do it. All right. I listen, man, he's dealt with a lot. He's been able to beat cancer, and that was like 20 years ago. And he passed of diabetes complications. I want to send a condolence to his family. You know, I know that he had one of his children that were coming into town, and you know they just wanted to make sure that his passing was respected. And there was a little bit of a hesitation online for people to post, or for myself and a few others to post, because we wanted to make sure that we paid respect and we didn't get to it before the family got to it. But he has been dealing with his health issues for several months now, for several years, but it got worse over the last several months. So I want to send an RIP to Big Apple. We can go through a few things just to, you know, for the people who might not know, because yo, man, for the people, if y'all are on your phones and able to get to these emojis and whatnot, man, put an apple in the chat for Big Apple, man. Big Apple is a super legend. I think I did you know what? I actually did a collaboration post with the Vent podcast. Yeah, man, Apple's in the chat for Big Apple, bro. Let me see. Let me go on my page just to give y'all a little history lesson.
We do whatever we want to do on these streets, baby. Rappers can't do this, man. The rappers got bosses, and I'm a boss. I don't need nobody to tell me when to shave, when to go to the bathroom, what clothes to put on. We do what we got to do, man. Big Apple's World, DVD, the TV show, all that, man. Follow me. I'm going to take you on to a journey.
Yeah, now I creep through the city quickly. A freak on my dick, he's hit me, at least on the Mickey, dig me.
Woo!
They say, cause I'm keeping them dizzy, pissy.
See J.R. Ryder right there. J.R. Ryder used to be over in Big Apple's World Store. For the people who know, he had the store on Grosvenor, actually, right off of Yonge Street, right there near Yonge and College. And at any given time, you can see the white Hummer in front of the store. And if you see the white Hummer, then you know Big Apple's in the store. And if that white Hummer's in front of the store and Big Apple's in front of the store or inside the store, you never know who you might bump into when you go in there. You might see J.R. Ryder. You might bump into the game. You just never know, man.
Go weak with the sticky icky. They screaming, they miss me, sissy. I say,
You know this is Big Apple's world.
Jeez. What is this right here? A night of hardcore flavor entered the stage of 36 Chambers. So this is the Black Moon and Wu-Tang show. April 1994. This is before I even moved to the city. I moved here in 97 and Apple was out here moving and shaking, doing this goddamn thing. Even actually before I moved here and I used to come down here on my missions. I used to come down here on missions selling clothes and shit. And I'd go to the flea market. There was a flea market right there by Yonge and Dundas. For the people in the comments who are from Toronto, y'all know where I'm talking about, the Yonge and Dundas flea market. And Big Apple had a store in there too. You know what I'm saying? Big Apple, he's always been a part of this Toronto scene. And we'll get to the Drake stuff in a second because Drake has mentioned him multiple times on records. Not just one time, multiple times. What is this here? Yes, 1996 is when At came out. And when Dolo came out, we would always linger DT after school, rainy and dark nights. I always got fly shit from Apple, clothes and tapes, bottom line. What is this tape right here? Straight from Apple. I still have it. Jesus Christ. Oh shit, Locks the Family Part. Yo, this. I thought that was like I don't know, like a bootleg or something like that. Could be a bootleg, but shit. This is some more Texas, I guess, between the Flyer Vault and Apple, because a lot of people knew Apple, man. This right here is from the night when Drake had the OVO World Fest, World Weekend. All right, that was he had all of the Canadian legends on the stage, from the Rascals to Maestro Fresh West. He got Michie Me to come back from Jamaica, flew her back so that she could do the show. It was a great night. And from the amount of time that Drake mentioned him on records, you know, talking about Big Apple in front of the Fluid. 1 second. Big Apple in front of Fluid. He got a chance to meet Drake again face to face, because he's obviously met Drake over the years when he was on his come up. But this is the clip right here from in there. What are you saying, DRK used to get the Egyptian musk from the mall over there? Hell yeah, man. That Egyptian musk, bro. Tap a little bit of there on the girls. They're helpless. They're helpless when we got that Egyptian musk on, yo. Woo! Y'all know, especially the Rastas. They know. Put a little dab of that Egyptian musk over here too. You know what I'm saying? They're helpless. Got her. She couldn't escape the musk. Trust me. DRK also says Apple bought Nas and AZ, J. Rue the Damager, Coolio at the baseline on Yonge Street. Yeah. There's more stuff in the there's more stuff in that post from the Flyer Vault. Oh, also this is from Raekwon the Chef. Is this up on the screen what I'm looking at here? Just let me double check. Yeah, this is from Raekwon the Chef, who has a store over here in Toronto and a barbershop. If I'm not, actually, it's a store / barbershop over here in Toronto, in Regent Park. Brought Wu-Tang, one of the first people to bring Wu-Tang Clan down, was very close to Apple. He says here, rest well, King Apple. Man, you are one of one. Your lingo, your lane, your literature, and the street credentials justified accurately, man. Accurately. Man, it hurts. He should put some capitals in the beginning of his words, sentences. Man, I'm hurt off this. We will miss you, King. Yeah. America and Canada. A real one just left the building. 21 shot salute. RIP. Hashtag Big Apple. Condolences to his loving family and friends. Hashtag Toronto's finest. Yeah, man. Let me go back to my post here from the flyer.
You know this is big.
I want to shout out Big Apple in here tonight. Big Apple. Very influential to the city. I don't know if anybody ever had like a I'm Not a Rapper t-shirt, but I did. Definitely. So,
the I'm Not a Rapper t-shirts, crazy. He got his on, or he went and put on his after he bumped into Apple at the spot. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. He, from his health complications that he was dealing with from diabetes, he ended up losing a leg. It's crazy, man. Yo, this is the inside of the Dundas Mall right here. See, this is what I'm talking about. Dundas Mall. Holy shit, man. Some memories right here, man. So this is wow, Fantastic Voyage. A Night of Hardcore Flavor Part 2. Coolio. J. Rue the Damager. Nas. $22.50 to see all of that. Imagine that back in the days. $22.50 to see all of that. That's crazy. Times have changed, man. Live Wu-Tang concert that was over there at the Docks. The place that I forgot what they call it right now. They changed that club mad times already. And they got everybody in the building at the time. Old Dirty Bastard. Holy shit, man. Big Apple World. 3 Grosvenor Street. Phone number was on there. You can get tees, CDs, DVDs, sweaters, leathers, hoodies.
Here with Damien, you know what I'm saying? You know what he does. He's definitely not no rapper, you know? And I'm here with Big Jonathan. He's wearing a 5X right here. He's definitely not no rapper. Big Apple's across the street. These are my neighbors. So anytime you hear them coming, it's not the police. It's the firemen. They're here to save lives. You know what I'm saying? This is a big Hummer. When them driving them big Hummers right there, they're trying to save somebody's life, so don't need no problems. There's a lot of unity, there's a lot of love. We're breaking racial barriers. The music is bringing everybody together. And we live in the community, so we got to work together. Because I'm running for mayor in about the next year. It's Big Jonathan, Damien, and they're definitely not no rappers. Big Apple's World. Here with Damien.
R.I.P. Big Apple. Jesus Christ, the DVDs, man. There was something else also. He was also a rapper for a short space of time. Let me see if I can find something on my boy Big Sprox. Big salute to Big Sprox. He be posting some old school shit.
Yeah, you got the apple and the orange man representing the whole neighborhood. Yeah, taking your cash, taking your girls and all that. Believe that. Giving you a taste like there is no tomorrow. Brothers try to flex with the clothes that they borrow. Take you back to the neighborhood. Phone shop because you get no props when you step right here. Apples and man with stars 10 feet. Make a dope sound for the hardcore street. To say we yang for your mom.
That's the type of music videos back in the days where they used to have the baseball bat over their shoulders. You know them type of ways there? With the baseball bat, you know what I'm saying? You're rapping with the baseball with the baseball bat in your hand and shit. Jeez. Y'all don't know about that.
Just a big belly, yeah, but don't talk no drums. I drop bombs like the one in South Central. The times to get in, cause my man, I'm just mental. I got work to my pops, giving you a taste, hop. Luke, get up, flop with any weather. Trendsetter, styles to go better. Take a taste of the amps. Yeah, flavor that's stretched for miles and everywhere. Giving you.
Yo, they got the go on there.
What taste something else, something later. Giving you what taste something else, something later. Giving you what taste something else, something later. Yeah, I keep your face something.
Giving you a taste, some for now, some for later. Jeez. That was some classic times right there, man. Holy shit. Big Chill says different hip-hop era. Yo, I know the young bucks who are watching this right now, like the 30 and under, they're like, yo, what is this old hat ass shit that you're playing right now, man? Nah, bro. Y'all don't understand. That was aura. That was aura back then. That was the vibe. All right. All the different things that y'all say, that was a vibe. That was aura. Trust me. Let me pull up something right here. That was low-key fire. It's not high-key fire. Trust me. Let's pull up some shit.
They blew. I don't know, it was about gun violence because they had gun violence back then, and I said, man,
for sure.
Let's see. We could talk about Big Apple's world.
T-shirt and then I gotta see the mayor. Like you guys try to, you guys try to kill my character, man. I ain't no rapper, nigga. Like I'm a businessman, and you trying to kill my character, yo. You guys locking me up. Your police boys are locking me up and put on all these charges, and I beat up the charge and come out of jail, put on a nice suit, went to see the mayor, gave him I'm not a rapper t-shirt, and then his assistant said, could you please talk to the Toronto's about gun violence? Because they had gun violence.
I'll put that on the list.
And I said, man,
for sure.
Yeah, I said, I could do it, but I don't want to do it. So you gotta get somebody else for that job. That ain't for me to tell the people how to act out there.
Yeah. So then
that's what they.
So yeah.
And then you people opportunity. People opportunity. So, he's Elvis Presley.
Right here.
Independent, black independent. Now, 20 years or 50, however much years it is right now, black independence is the key.
Yeah.
It's the way.
Yeah.
It's the power,
Yep.
Champagne Poppy, aka Drake. Hope you're enjoying the video. Do me a quick favor while you're here and smash that like button so we can break the algorithm. What he said. And join the comment gang and subscribe. It's free. He's mentioned you about 3 times now, as we said in the beginning of our conversation here.
Back when Big Apple sold dreams, I stuck to my own thing.
When was the first time you met him?
Man, Champagne Poppy, let me tell you something. He's a great guy. He's the biggest artist in the world. He's Elvis Presley. He's Bob Marley. He's the Beatles. There's no topping not what he did and how he did it, but who he is. That's a lot of pressure. That's a lot of stress. He's the greatest artist and the biggest. When I say greatest, the accomplishments is the greatest.
Yeah.
Right? They need to give him the city. They need to give him the country, what he did for opportunity for other people, not his own success of $1 and big houses, and for other people. He gave a lot of people opportunity. And that's why he's the greatest, the biggest, and the smartest, because he surpassed everybody that was laughing at him. Everybody that was looking at him with a funny eye. He got humongous on him. And the first time I met Champagne Poppy was at a club named Avocado. It was one of my family members. He had a restaurant/club, maybe like about 50-seater on Adelaide or Richmond Street, one of them 2 streets. And Champagne Poppy was over there every Wednesday doing karaoke.
Okay.
He was doing karaoke. So I think he could do like a DMX voice, a Jay-Z's voice. He could do anybody's voice.
That's crazy.
He was singing. He was doing everything he was doing back then. No, now back then. He's a natural. I never looked at Degrassi. I never looked at Degrassi a day in my life. So I didn't know nothing I didn't know nothing about no Degrassi. All I know was
this guy's giving a history lesson right here. Pay attention.
He was this cool kid, and I think it was Melanie Fiona was doing the karaoke every Wednesday. Does that the restaurant doing karaoke?
See, he just mentioned Melanie Fiona doing karaoke with Champagne Papi, aka Drake. I just had an interview with Melanie Fiona the other day when she mentioned having her first music group or early music group with Champagne Papi, aka Drake, a group called the Renaissance. So this is what he's talking about. This is bringing connecting all the dots, basically.
Karaoke. That was the part of the entertainment right there. And then every Wednesday, we was doing Fluid in the night. So I go over there, and you had a couple of Toronto rappers, like Toronto Raptors in there. And then anytime they was doing a movie, that time. So Megan Good was over there. They were doing a movie called Honey.
I was in there.
Megan Good was there.
Honey. I remember Honey very fondly.
Yeah, so we had Toronto had a little Black Hollywood running around that time. So Megan Good, Little Romeo, like it was a little Black Hollywood going on right over there. So that's where the whole Fluid thing came in, and that's when I first met him. And then, we're not friends. So I'm a little older than you. We're not friends. You just doing karaoke. And at that time, it's hard to listen to because 50 Cent had the game dominated.
True.
So we only liked one thing, 50 Cent. Everybody liked 50 Cent. Everybody liked 50 Cent. So you really couldn't really listen to nothing else because what he did was, and Interscope Records was brainwash the whole world to that's how you really want to be as a rapper. Bulletproof vest, get shot, go to jail. You wanted that type of story. Nobody wanted to hear good kids. So it was like, and then the softy singing what I wasn't in style. It was aggressive. It was all aggressive.
Yeah.
And that's how the Fluid line came in with me and Drake, because I used to be going to the Avocado, and I think one time we went on, and the one time over, the Hummer was parked there. Hummer was always parked in front of Fluid.
Big Apple had the white Hummer parked right in front of Fluid, and we be walking in that bitch like we already knew it.
Yes. On a Wednesday, Thursday.
I did that.
Night. And we went into the club. So at the time he was beefing with Meek Mills, and I told niggas like, yo, Meek Mills was saying he don't write his lyrics. Man, he wrote that, nigga. He wrote that. You can't make believe that. He wrote that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was
what ghostwriter is gonna give you bars about like guys who are living over here and all types of like, come on, man.
Yeah. So that's the first time, and then that was the first time So when that Fluid line came in on his project, but he had said my name. He had said my name before that too, because I think at one time I was like, I was on tour with Belly. We was on a Snoop Dogg tour with Belly. I was with Belly because I was working with Belly and Capital Prophets and Masari, and we was on tour with Snoop Dogg and Ice Cube, and I was always making jokes of Drake at that time. Not like making jokes like dissing him. Like I was just more like laughing at this nigga. And then he put in a song, Ask Apple about the girls that I get though. So I'll be on the phone with.
Yo, I'm like reliving it. I'm about to say at the same time as the past me.
I'll be on the phone with a bitch that you never know. So if I was a rapper, I could retaliate, but I ain't no rapper, so I can't retaliate. So it's just like, okay, it's funny. You know what I'm saying? It's funny. That was the first time. But that was the first time, and then years later, we seen each other. One time, now it's about 4 or 5 years later.
Yeah.
I met him again in Toronto when we was doing a video with Masari and some girl singers, and he pulled up with Future, and they had the Phantom. I don't know when Drake was moving around in the Phantom.
Not Future, the singer rapper, Future the Prince, his manager once DJ. Keep going.
Yeah, and running around Toronto with the Phantom, and then we spoke, and he was still low key. He was still accessible. He was still a nice guy, and so we seen each other after that. So it was never no bad energy. Never. Like I'm a man, and you're a younger man, and there's no energy. There's no energy like to be aggressive because it's not an aggressive time. And then a couple years later, I'm in the club. I'm living in Atlanta this time, and you got a club I used to go to called Legends, and every Wednesday, Thursday or Wednesday, whatever. And I'm in the club, and Young Jeezy's in there, and Floyd Mayweather. And I said, and he called my phone. I said, yo, come to the club, nigga, come to the club. Floyd Mayweather, Young Jeezy, Trap or Die, I go, mad bitches. He said to me, one of the smartest things, man, ever. Like, I understood what he said then, but I really didn't. I understand it more now as a full man. He said, I ain't ready to come to the club. And he said, come to the studio. And then after the club, I went to the studio. And that's when you that smart, knowing that you don't need to come outside and play yet, but who give a who's in the club? I ain't ready to come out there yet. There's a time to come out. And I guess this time was, the future that he's presented to everybody right now.
Yeah. Yo, man. R.I.P. to Big Apple. That to me, great storyteller as well. And Drake feeling it as well, because he tapped in. Just to show y'all one last thing before we get off of the story here. A rare tap in. Sometimes Drake taps in the comments. All right. Let me see. Where's my likes? Can I see the likes? Only you can see this. Oh, there we go. My computer's moving slow as F today. Let's see. Where am there? I might have already passed it. But he's in there somewhere. And he jumped in the comments as well. There he is. Come on, man. My freaking computer's acting stupid. There he is. Champagne. And if you go onto his story post, he shows love to Apple in the story post. So definitely influential to all of us. You know what I'm saying? There he is in the comments. R.I.P. legend. I didn't pin his comment. Like, it's not one of those times where you pin the Drake comment. Like, this is, it's a serious matter. So yeah, man. R.I.P. to Big Apple. Condolences to his family. Toronto legend. Health is wealth. Just a reminder, because we've lost about, make sure I'm centered. We lost about 3 people in the last few months when it comes to Bishop Brigante. We just lost DJ Marvin Prince, who I just re-released the interview of yesterday, yesterday, who was very influential in Snow's career. And now Big Apple, I've said this for people who I've been speaking with behind the scenes, everything comes in threes. So yeah, man, we're getting to that age as far as my generation where we got to be paying attention to our health, because you never know, man. We're not talking about people who are 70-something, 80-something years old. We're talking about people who are in their 50s, 40s. Yeah, we gotta definitely. Paul Pickering, R.I.P. to Paul Pickering. Salute to DRK over here. Yeah, man. We got to pay attention to our health as we start getting into the latter years of our life, man. So once again, I'm going to say R.I.P. to Big Apple. You know what I'm saying? Rest well, rest easy, and condolences to his family. Now, let's get into the shits. I feel like I should be running some rant music or something like that, but we ain't going to get it. We ain't going to go there. So, 6ixBuzz seems to have bought, I'm not even going to say seems to have bought, 6ixBuzz bought the Torontology subreddit. Now, for the people who are not aware of the Torontology subreddit, it's a very popular subreddit over here in Toronto, on the internet, period. On Reddit, it has 84,000 people who are tapped into that page. At any given time, you might see at least 100 people who are online, and it's a source for, new music. You can see what's going on with all these rappers, who's saying who's chirping at who in jail. A great source for like people who are documentarians, to put pieces together. We can go through the comment section, get the temperature of what's really going on in the city. All right. So Torontology is an important thing, and it's still going to be an important thing, maybe. as far as a source in the city for information. But things started to get a little bit wonky over the last few weeks. I will even say last few months. So I'll start here because I made a video on this. The cat's out of the bag. Spoiler alert. It's not an allegedly. The nigga bought the page. All right. Now, maybe about 3 weeks ago, I got blocked off of Torontology Reddit. And it said for community guideline violations, for postings something beyond the guideline violations, links, or whatever it may be. And keep in mind, I post on that subreddit probably 2 times a day from the videos that I publish over here on YouTube, just to post the links of that YouTube video so people can know that the video is available, right? So I wasn't doing anything out of the ordinary. And I got blocked. I got blocked from posting, commenting, etc., etc. I did what I needed to do behind the scenes to make sure that I got unblocked, and within a day I was unblocked. Cool. Didn't think nothing of it. I was just like, that's peculiar, but I got other shit to think about. Kept it moving. Then I got that, DM that happened Sunday. Now from when we were doing this, right? Happened a few days ago, and that DM, the threatening DMs that I got from a mod on the Reddit, and I did a news story on this. I'm not going to replay the news story. I'll just go find the post because I saved them. I saved them. Let's find them. Follow me on X, Friday Ricky Dread. Let's see. Here they are. And this was the mod because he got fired. New Doubt dash 4168. And he said, oh, let me find the beginning of it. Where's the beginning? He said, where the hell is the beginning? My bad. Where the hell is the beginning? Oh, here's the first one. My bad. Ricky, we as the mods don't like this We Love Hip Hop promotion on our platform daily without homage. And when I responded, what do you mean? I referenced Torontology as a source on air, post a reference. Is that not facts, gang? We've done the Reddit Wars, Reddit Warriors, and we did deep dives on Torontology posts, and we've promoted the page, have it up on the screen. Did I forget this? Is this something that didn't happen? Am I imagining this shit? Because I could clearly remember using Reddit multiple times and having the Torontology Reddit on the screen. So when I saw this message, I was like, And I continue. Post references on the screen and recommend American creators to the page when they have questions on the scene. In addition, a lot of content up here have come directly from my IG post, no credit, and I don't care. Facts, right? I've seen posts that I know that I posted on my personal page. If I break a story, they'll take that same story that's off of my page, repost it on the Reddit. However, when I post my shit on that same Reddit page, it's all about, yo, Friday, quit, you old head, go start a family, you loser. It's like all of us, like over the space of the last year or so, Reddit has gone to shits as far as like the way that the people were commenting over there. All right. And I'm not even going to blame Six Buzz for that. That might just be me. They might just hate me, hate my swag. I don't know. But it was just always like, no upvote, nothing. It's just always like, yo, fuck this guy Friday. Get out of here. Why are you even doing a podcast? All right, fine. I kept on posting anyway. But this gentleman responds, I'll ban you. Actually, we can go to this post now so we can see a little bit clearer. I'll ban you and your team for disrespecting the Canada media goats, Six Buzz again. You need to respect people doing it bigger than you in the city if you think you're going to keep getting love out here. And keep saluting the Reddit on your YouTube, and we won't have an issue with you using our platform as an outlet to support your podcast. And keep this shit offline, which I didn't. Sorry, it's online, bro. It's online. Sorry, I screen recorded it. I don't know what you thought was gonna happen, bro. Sorry. Keep that shit offline, or it's a straight ban. Don't bother Max too. Have a good day. Relay this to your pod members, and y'all be easy. _Stunner says that sounds personal. I don't know how it could be personal. I don't be knowing these niggas. I got a small circle of people who are I consider my friends. I don't go around rubbing people the wrong way. I don't go around snaking people, doing underhanded shit. I don't be threatening people to get their pages taken down if they talk about me bad. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I don't be going around here buying pages so that people can't say bad shit about me. You can say bad shit about me all day as long as you spell my name right. I don't care. Here's the thing. There's a blanked out part of this whole thing here. And let me see if I can find this shit properly. I blanked all of this out at the time because I was saying to myself, you know what? I ain't trying to out people's shit. Like, yo, you know, a private conversation should stay private. But then, now here we are. The page is confirmed. Everybody knows 6buzz bought the page. Hold on. Let me, before I continue my shit here. Alden says, you be talking heavy though, Friday. Stop it. Talking heavy to who? Is speaking the truth talking heavy? Let's be real, bro. Because there's a bunch of times where we've done content. We don't talk bad on 6buzz. You know, we have our opinions on shit. So as far as this whole part that's blanked out, here's what it says. So this is because of 6buzz and the issues that we had BTS, because 6buzz and us, I'm saying the We Love Hip Hop Network, me, my co-host and all that, there was an issue behind the scenes. All right? Little stupid petty shit. Let me tell y'all something before I even continue with this shit. There's way bigger things in the world to be worried about than what niggas are saying on a podcast that don't even get like 100,000 views or nothing like that. But the rest of the message says, so is this because 6buzz and the issues that we had BTS? The fact that he called my co-host a goof and an F-it, right? A F that rhymes with maggot to me behind the scenes. That's 6buzz. So when you talk about talking heavy, we gotta decipher who the ones who are really out here talking heavy, my G. Because I've been sparing this nigga. But this nigga right here, with these moves, when you go and buy a whole Reddit page, bro, that's because there's something in your soul that something ain't right, man. Niggas can try to dance around it, paint it in all different kind of ways. Like, yo, you know, it's a power play. It's just good business. Nah, bro. It's like politics, bro. It's like when Elon Musk knows that niggas don't like him. So what did he do? Go buy Twitter. Change it to X. I'm going to take it easy. The funny thing is, the reason that this nigga got pissed off in the first place is because we questioned this nigga's relevancy. This nigga being 6buzz, questioning the relevancy of the 6buzz page. One in the chat, if 6buzz still has an impact on the Toronto scene. Two in the chat, if niggas don't give a fuck about what 6buzz posts anymore. All right, let's do a thought experiment. So let's start again. One in the chat, if 6buzz has any impact on the culture. when it comes to putting people on to what's going on in the Toronto scene, putting people on to new artists, all that shit that you might see on a Keep Six Solid, that you might see on a Straight Out of the Six, that you might see on a even some of the other pages like a Canadian Underground Kings and a Six Sounds and all of them hater ass pages who don't like me. You know what I'm saying? Because those are the places that I go to. Even Torontology, that's the place that I go to find out about Toronto shit. Right? I see a lot of twos. I don't see no ones in the goddamn chat. You know why? Because niggas don't give a fuck about Six Buzz no more, nigga. So you can have 100 million followers on that page. And you got to buy up every single thing, whether it's the Reddit, whether it's all these little blog pages like the Six Sounds and the Canadian Underground Kings and all these other little pages that you got to buy out so that you can paint the narrative of what's going on in the city. But here we are doing our thing, our little thing over on our little channel. And niggas give a fuck about what we got to say. I don't be hearing Andrew Schultz talking about, yo, I saw that post on Six Buzz, but I hear him talking about Grand Wizard Chat Nigga a lot. I hear him talking about Keep Six Solid a lot. I ain't heard him talk about Six Buzz ever for all this more than months. Guess what? You know why? Because the niggas, that shit don't shake no more, bro. I'm not saying, oh, take it back to the old way it used to be. Yo, it is what it is. Niggas go corporate. You got to accept the fact that you ain't part of the culture no more, bro. Take the money and go on. But you can't be out here trying to tell us how to do our content, trying to tell people, trying to skew people's opinions and start affecting the freedom of speech that happens on Reddit. Come on, G. Because I'm not the only one who got my post or got blocked on Reddit for shit. There's a lot of other people who complain to me behind the scenes, who's complained in front of the scenes on ways that they've gotten blocked, the ways that their posts have been taken down. That's a lot of narrative painting, my G. Some nasty work. Let's do some, let's move around a bit. Let's move around a bit. Where we at? Where we at? So let's go to the new Reddits. Because there's a new Reddit that emerged out of all of this shit. All that said, he's like fragile. Facts. Fragile as fuck. Why are you posting this? Shut up, bro. So here we are, Torontology. And here's the funny thing. They're still doing their thing. People are posting on there. Not as much. I'm not going to lie. All right? The posts haven't been as heavy. But here's the thing. You notice something? Because I put out, this is my second video of the day I put out. I put out about 4 videos yesterday. I ain't post one video on this goddamn page, bro. Niggas don't have to block me. All right? I'll do you one better. I ain't posting shit there no more. So you can block me. I won't even know. I won't even know because I'm not posting there no more. Why the fuck do I need to post on Torontology when there's Torontologists out here now? How about that? Oh, it doesn't matter. Oh, who cares about your little stupid ass podcast? You don't need to post on there anyway. That ain't gonna shake shit. All right, sure. I could play stupid games too and start being like, yo, and if anybody clips any content from the We Love Hip Hop Network without my permission and puts it up on the page, maybe we might have to have a conversation about that. 99 says, doesn't seem that smart to buy it. Yeah, because if you're a page that everybody in Toronto hates, and then you go buy a page and everybody knows that you bought it, guess what? Everybody's going to start hating that page too. So here's what's going on over there. They got posts like this. Six Buzz. Torontology now belongs to me. Everybody's just amongst themselves talking. Here he is. This is a great diagram. People over here are like, All right, do your thing, bro. And then they go back to talking amongst themselves. Here's the new page for anybody who wants to follow up. They got 968 members in the last, let's say, 24 to 48 hours. So salute to them. Good job. Okay. You're still going to be able to see. And listen, don't get it twisted, because I'm far from a hater. Keep supporting Torontology. It has 84,000 people over there for a reason. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to keep posting and keep doing their thing. And I suggest anybody here, whether you're a pro Friday, pro We Love Hip Hop person or not, keep going over there for your info. As long as I'm there, I'll go. I have a new story that's coming from over there today. I'm not shitting on the page. I'm shitting on the owner. All right? Don't take the sins of the owner of this page and then put it on the users of the page, because the users are innocent. They're like the kids. Don't put it. It's not the kids' fault. They didn't ask to be bought. They didn't ask to be here and taken over. They didn't want that as their daddy. But it is what it is. So I'm not hating on the page. Keep going to Torontology. However, we got options now. We got options now. All right. Maybe it's for the better that this move was made. This whole debacle has happened, because a monopoly is never a good thing, where there's just only one source for everybody to go to for Toronto shit. When it comes to the Reddit or any place, when it comes to Instagram, there's multiple places that you can go to find out what's going on in Toronto. Okay, obviously it's not Six Buzz. Nobody go there anymore for shit. But you can go to Keep Six Solid. You can go to T.TV. You can go to Six Trench. You can go to Six Entertainment. You can come over to We Love Hip Hop or to my personal page. We got the info. We got the content, nephew. All right? There's multiple places. But when you go on Reddit, there's 416. I forget the name of it. Let me see. Let me pay them some respects. Because I'm not a hater. 416 Radar. Very small page. But that's the only other option. So maybe this is all for the better. It's not like their follower count went down. They still got the 84,000 people there. People can do two things. They can chew gum and walk at the same time. So you can follow Torontology and follow Torontologist same way. What's the problem? You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to stomp out your business, homie, even though you be trying to stomp out mad people's businesses. I talk to a lot of niggas behind the scenes. A lot. There's rappers who have no videos up right now, up on YouTube, who end up having people get their videos reposted. Big time rappers. There's a lot of music videos that are missing out of the zeitgeist because of this nigga. And you can blame it on the rappers and be like, oh, you guys didn't do your business right. You guys are stupid, blah, 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 whatever the case may be. Nah, B. When you get too hungry with the power, bro, and start wielding that shit all over the place and start telling people, yo, I'll get your YouTube channel taken down if you talk slick about me. Forward, I dare you to try to do that shit to my page. I've been through that a million times. I've been hacked twice. So none of that shit works on me, B. Anyhow, man. Here we are, man. So this is where we're at as far as the update on what's going on with that. I didn't want to go crazy and be like, oh, fuck Six Buzz. It's not fuck Six Buzz. Because Six Buzz has done a lot for the scene, has been able to put people on. You know what I'm saying? We've been able to find out about the likes of the Chromas of the world and the top fives of the world and Casper and all these different people. Six Buzz has helped to bring those people to the forefront. So we're never going to diss that. But over the last couple of years, bro, you've been moving snakish, my G. slithering in through these Instagram internet streets, bro. You need to fall back, my G. Calm down. You're not a Don Dada. Look at this. Salute to child support. Says, I see you guys made a new sub. This was much needed. I always wondered who was allowing this types of post, and I was seeing the old when I was seeing the old one. But knowing who bought it out, it's all starting to make sense. Low. If you guys need anything, promo, etc., don't be afraid to hit me up. And big salute to Original Gallus. Look at this. The bands. Niggas is just out here just abusing the power, broski. Nasty work. Holy. So yeah, that's all I got for y'all as far as this whole thing, man. Just an update, right? Not a stomp out. I got a lot more that's in the vault, and I'll keep it in the vault for now. All right? I'll keep it in the vault for now. I ain't going to talk about all the rappers you fucked over. I ain't going to talk about all the different other things. I won't get all specific and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'll save that for another day. But get cute with me again, and it's all coming out, G. That's all I got to say, man. Let's move on, man. Anyhow. What do I got on my list? What else is on my list? Let's get into the Sean Leon and Ye stuff, man. Y'all know who Sean Leon is? Y'all want? Should I move on? I'm going to move on, but let me see what y'all are saying in the comments. Let me decompress first. Canada needs to be fully European. I ain't got nothing to do with it. Yes, W Torontologist for real, bro. Salute to Two Piece No Biscuit. Yo, watch the replay, man. Is that a good look? You know what I'm saying? Actually, let me rephrase that. Is it a conflict of interest for a popular blog page to own a popular subreddit? One in the chat if it's a good look. Two in the chat if it's nasty work. All right? Yo, shit, you know, that's what you're supposed to do. Just buy these shits, you know, and keep it moving, bro. It's business. It's business. One in the chat if it's a good look. Yo, I own this popular blog page, and, you know, sometimes, you know, I get myself into a few things. Niggas take my chain, different things that happen. But we don't, you know, so that I can make sure that y'all don't talk about that, I'll just buy the page. All right? What's the problem? You know what I'm saying? Put it this way. It's like if I decided, you know what? I don't like the way that Reddit be talking about me, bro. They keep on calling me an old head. Yo, they keep on telling me to go start a family. The bag just landed. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna buy that shit. And anybody who say anything bad about Friday Ricky Dread, you getting zapped, my nigga. Get him out of here. Oh, don't even start spelling Friday Ricky Dread. Oh, you sound like you I can hear your typing, man. You sound like you're typing in a negative way. Get him out of here. Throw him in the gulag. What's the problem? There's nothing wrong with that, right? There's no conflict of interest. I'm just protecting my brand. Right? Or is it kind of nasty? Kind of infringing on free speech? I'm just asking. You know, I've said what I had to say already. I'm not going to repeat myself. I'm just asking questions. Just in the future, like when the bag lands, shit, I'll go buy some pages. You know what I'm saying? YouTube pages. Y'all remember Toronto Solutions? Bought that. Give me that. Let me get that. You know what it reminds me of? And I swear I'll get off of this. You know when there's these people that send you DMs? Anybody who has a page that has over 10,000 followers can relate to this. All right? Niggas will send you DMs and be like, yo, I'll buy your page for like 4 racks, bro. And I'm thinking to myself, for what? The fuck you want my page for? But then, as I started to get more educated in this Instagram streets, I started getting rappers DMing me. 100,000 followers, 50,000 followers. They're stuck in my request section. I never heard them from a can of paint. Never heard one song from them. But they got 80,000 followers on the page. Yo, when am I going to be on the podcast, bro? I'm like, how has I never heard of you? You got like 80,000 followers. You bought the page. You know, buy it. It already has 50,000 followers on it. I'm lit. Look at me. Look at the numbers, bro. Look at the views. That shit is inflated. If it's not something that comes from the ground up, you're not building up your fan base from the ground up. You're building off of somebody else's fan base. And God forbid that it's a whole different genre. Then you're gonna start losing followers from the old page. They're gonna be like, what the hell? I was on here for dog post. What's all this hip hop nigga shit? You feel me? So you got to be selective. Toronto Solutions. Right? But then it continues, you know, okay, I was okay with that. But then it continued, oh, let me buy the goddamn Reddit. Like, Jesus Christ, you want to buy We Love Hip Hop too? It's for sale, but not to you, my nigga. Holy shit. Holy shit, man. God forbid this nigga buy this shit and everybody start being like, oh man, I knew the reason why I hated you Friday. So don't worry, gang. If I do sell it or when I do sell it, it won't be to somebody with a bad reputation. Trust me. Now we can get off of this. All right. So let's get to Sean Leon, man. Sean Leon, for the people who don't know, Mississauga rapper, right? No, he's not a Brampton rapper. He's a Mississauga rapper. Okay, he's been in the scene for a while. He's been doing this thing. He's not part of the pasa politics, street poly scene. So not as many people might have heard of who Sean Leon is. But Ye knows who Sean Leon is. And Ye's been working with him for the last few years. It's not just a recent thing. You feel me? So I found a few different things because he apparently stopped working with Ye. Obviously, Ye's been going on his rants. He's been on his anti-Semitic rants as usual. It's not even a new thing now. Now it's just usual thing for Ye. Yeah, yo, Ye's being anti-Semite again. Right? But then it started extending to him sucking off his cuz. Pause. Salute to Top 5. He met up with 5 the other day. Put the chain on 5's neck. He just walked out of the Pierce Morgan interview. He's out here. He's doing his thing. Greasy Deck, say word. He's out here. He's doing his thing. And then I find out that Sean Leon says, you know what? I had enough, man. I can't do this anymore, bro. And apparently he's parted ways with Ye. So I'll pull up a video courtesy of Hello Yassine. And big salute to Hello Yassine. He makes some great YouTube videos. Make sure to go subscribe. And he breaks it down.
It looks like one of Ye's writers and collaborators has finally had enough and is really speaking up for himself now. And I've actually got a personal story to share about this artist towards the end. I'll let you know when I'm going to share my personal story. So for the people that don't care about that, you can just leave when we get there. But the individual's name is Sean Leon. I don't know if it's Sean Leon or Sean Leon. I used to say it as
Sean Leon
when I was younger, when I first encountered this artist, because like Leon Thomas We call him Leon Thomas. It's not Leon Thomas, but he goes on to tweet a bunch of things. Number one, a lot of the attention is on him due to Donda 2 being released, and he worked on Donda 2 and some other stuff.
Oh, last thing, 6 Buzz. Don't text my phone, bro. All right? When you see this, don't text my phone. Just allow it, bro.
But he goes on to tweet a bunch of different things saying, no more side quests and don't ask me any more questions. I'm happy as F right now. 22K followers, that mean a lot to me. Thanks. And then he says Oxygen or Sci-Fi. So Oxygen is a song that he released in 2022 or 2022 or 23. I think it was 2023, if I'm not mistaken. Regardless, that song had Ye on it. And it's not a feature that's highlighted, and they've been working together for quite a long time. And this guy has been independent for a very, 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 very long time.
So apparently he had a song with Ye on his own project. And I heard about this. It's just that, sadly enough, he's super talented, but he ain't getting locked up. He ain't shooting at nobody. His crew ain't no issue with the ops. So people don't talk about him as much, unfortunately. Diamond Club in the building. What up? People don't talk about him. Like, if he had, if he was trying to throw his whole life away and throw his career away, then he'd be getting talked about all the time. But he's accomplishing shit, and you got Ye on his album, pre-Crash Out. Nobody talked about it.
I'm talking over a decade. And then he says Oxygen or Sci-Fi. And he says, I like how neither of us asked for permission before dropping. I'm going to put out some of the other music we made when the time's right. This guy's been a frequent Ye collaborator. You guys know how fervent Ye stands are. And then he says, they hit me to do some more writing for D2, Donda 2. But I don't want to do that, especially not remotely. I kind of hate songwriting for others. It doesn't make sense financially. So just some short explanation about that. The way writers get paid is on the back end. So with producers, a lot of the time a producer will get like an upfront fee and then like a cut of the publishing. So they'll make money on the back end, depending if they're able to cover the initial fee. So let's say.
Salute to Greasy Dex in the chat over here. He said, I remember seeing him drop visuals for that song with Ye. It's a big statement, but it didn't translate well within the city. Yo, before we continue this video, I need to find that, just to give some context. Kanye. Look at this SEO. This SEO strong. I guess it's a visualizer. Or no, this might be the music video. I'm gonna get a big ass copyright for this.
Like gasoline. Wife gasoline.
Okay.
For the guys, it's for my brodies in disguise, and not these phonies in disguise and telling stories. Yeah, they telling. Yeah, hey, I'm a legend when I step in, ego tripping, ego deafened. This is destined, this is
I want to hear the Ye part, respectfully.
depression. Can I tell you? You'll be sorry that you lied, you'll be sorry. I pour 40 for the guys, it's for my brodies in the sky.
Sean Leon's doing this goddamn thing. How many views did this get? 620,000 views. It's not bad. This is 2 years ago. Is this before he put on the mask, before Ye put on that black mask and started going crazy? I don't remember exactly when Ye started crashing out. But yeah, let's continue the video. Let's get back to the video.
What's popping hands are. And then he says, they hit me to do some more writing for D2, Donda 2. But I don't want to do that, especially not remotely. I kind of hate songwriting for others. It doesn't make sense financially. So just some short explanation about that. The way writers get paid is on the back end. So with producers, a lot of the time a producer will get like an upfront fee and then like a cut of the publishing. So they'll make money on the back end, depending if they're able to cover the initial fee. So let's say they get 50K a beat, right? Like if their share of the song, so the percentage that they get of the song, the points, if it makes back 50K, then they start getting paid on the back end of the song in the future and perpetuity. If not, then they just get the upfront money. So that's how a lot of producers make a big bag because they're like, hey, I'll just take the cash up front. That doesn't really work for writers. So writers, they get the publishing, but the song has to go, and they do upfront work for free without any guarantee of the song being released. And then the song has to do well for them to finally make money. Who knows how far along the line, how far down the line. And then he says, it isn't fun creatively unless we're building it together and feeding on each other's energy. Besides, I want to take my career to the next level now. I don't want to be known for writing for others anymore. I don't want my only Billboard #1 to be Justin Bieber. He's talking about Peaches. I don't want my only Grammy wins to be through other artists. I want best new art.
This nigga wrote freaking on Peaches for Justin Bieber. What? Yo, Sean Leon's doing his damn thing, bro. This is the problem with this goddamn Toronto scene, man. We should be talking about Sean. I'm part of the problem too, right? This is why I'm talking about him now. We should be talking about people like this more. Like, bro, you're doing all of this? And I'm talking about niggas who's in jail?
Artist. I want a machine to do the stuff I don't do and free me up to do the things I do well. I can't think of another unsigned artist with a resume like mine. I should be on someone's roster by now. And he is absolutely correct. And this is where like some people have the nerve to give the advice of like, yo, wait your time. Yeah, you know, like you got to do this independent. This guy is an example of talent and just somebody that's so focused and elite at their craft that they need somebody else to handle the other stuff. They can't do it all. And then he replies, who is this brother? I like this energy too. I'm Dante, reacting and discovering his music. And Dante has a lot of people watching him on Twitch. That's a bunch of people discovering his music. I think this is an incident kind of like Vori, when people first found out about Vori through Donda.
Let's go. He's gonna go on a little tangent.
As talented. It's just a preference type of thing. But he goes on and says, fans are better than having friends. I'm mentally ill, so I genuinely believe that all I need in life is more fans, genuine fans. And then somebody says, like, you could get more reach doing those things, and that would benefit your solo projects too. Don't you think that would happen? And he's talking about writing and things like that. And he says, yeah, like I said, I'm down to work if we're in the same room, like when he pulled up in Paris or when I was in Calabasas, Wyoming, Tokyo, Florence. But working remotely isn't really interesting to me anymore. Plus, I've worked on 4 albums already. At a certain point, I've got to forge my own path, or I'm boxing myself in as the help.
Wow, he worked on 4 albums for this guy, bro. That's crazy. Hold on, let me read this comment here. Vinny B says, Friday, don't ignore my comments, cuzzo. I watched your freestyle on Real Toronto back in the day. Salute, man. Parkdale's my residence. I'm the president. I'm a dead man. You know, did my thing.
And not an artist in my own right. He's MJ to me, undisputed GOAT, but I'm Kobe. Kobe's got to be Kobe at a certain point. And then, funny enough, he says, labels are now calling me, gang. And people say stay indie, and I get it, but I made hella movies without a budget. I want to go full Christopher Nolan or Bong Joon-ho level. I think this is great, man. And I'm going to share a bit of a personal story now.
Okay, so let's fast forward. Respectfully, I don't care about the personal story
they have that I was paying attention to. So I think he had Wonder Girl on one of these tracks too. People that work together with artists. So if somebody's a manager, if somebody's an A&R, if somebody may have even signed someone, they never get respect from the fans. And let's say there's a falling out. For instance, Carl Crawford, 1501 Entertainment, former MLB player, he invested a ton of money into Megan Thee Stallion, investing money into her, getting her to blow up, signing her to 300, and then she abandons him, sues him, or like she gets out of that deal. I think he gets a payout, but he's upset with the whole situation. People are like, man, she would have blown up anyway, or he would have blown up anyway. This is the thing that they always use to come at managers or people that work behind the scenes. Yeah, he was talented.
So just before I continue the video, from what I'm understanding right now so far from this, I guess it's not even because of the whole anti-whatever things that he's been going on with his rants and his wild antics, even though I'm sure it's part of that. But it's also, I guess, writing for Kanye and being a behind-the-scenes guy, being one of his writers, wasn't helping his career move forward. Do y'all agree with that? Like, because this is a great opportunity, obviously. You're in the room with Kanye. You're going to get to meet a bunch of other artists. I know he was recording a lot with Ty Dolla $ign. He probably got to meet Quentin Miller at the same time. He probably got to meet a lot of people being in the studio with Ye. However, it's like they're also ghost writers. They're not, you'll see the credits if the credits are available, or if you even care to go check the credits. you'll see these people's names in the credits, but it doesn't necessarily mean that, oh, you read Sean Leon in the credits and it's gonna be like, oh, I know that person's an artist. I want to go see his music. Right? So I can understand even where he's coming from. Like, yeah, I'm making money, I'm getting to contribute to some really big shit, but it's not advancing my own career. I'm getting some labels that are hollering at me here and there, but it's not really doing anything for me. Maybe I want to focus on my own shit. I ain't mad at that. All right. But I also can understand stability, getting that consistent check. Or maybe not consistent check, but at least knowing that you're going to be making some money because you're assisting on projects that are going to be selling millions or streaming millions. Big salute to Simply Elise. Here's the thing though, when it comes to Kanye West, and we'll continue the video in a quick second. I don't know if writing on Donda 2 even helps anybody anymore, because from what I heard about Donda 2, it sold like 6,000 or something like that in the first week, which is abysmal, just disgusting numbers for Kanye West, Grammy award-winning, multi-platinum selling artist Kanye West, to do like under 10,000 in the first week of sales. I understand that he switched his name on the streaming platforms to Donda, I think, or Donda 2. It's not under Kanye West, so it's not going to be as easy to find him. But I think the search engine, if you put in Kanye West, will direct you to the Donda album. All right. Vinny B, thank you for the donation, Vinny B. And I will read this. He wants to know, did Ye touch up on Leon's body? Yo, chill, bro. If I do have an opportunity to talk to Sean Leon, I'll ask him. Yo, Sean, did he touch you? I highly doubt it. I really hope not, man. I'm going to continue the video.
He was going to blow up anyway, which is the biggest cap ever. Here, we have a guy who I found out about in 2014. His music, he's been making music since before. I think he's been releasing since 2013. I enjoyed that stuff. It was good music. You could even look back at it in 2014, and you probably can't compare it to how good he's gotten now, but just reframe your mind to the position of somebody hearing this in 2014. And you're going to agree, most likely. This guy's been talented. He's been in the right rooms. He's been working with Ye. He's clearly mingled with other artists. He's independent, and he's supremely talented, yet he hasn't blown up. And why is that? It's not talent, because here's a talented artist that also releases music. So there are a lot of different factors that come into play. Right timing. Some people will say luck, right amount of money, right amount of promotion, the right person, the right image. You kind of have to capture all of, like, sugar, spice, and everything nice, Powerpuff Girls. You have to capture all of these different ingredients at the right time as well for something to really pop. It's not just talent alone. And some people, like for certain writers, their music just isn't really good enough. Like, they're just writers. But this guy's a music maker. Like, he's an artist himself. And he was an artist before he was ever a writer, at least from what I know. If he was writing pre-2013, when he was still like a teenager, then that would be quite shocking to me. It would be impressive as well. So I think that's one of the biggest lessons and takeaways that we can get from this is there is value in a record label. There's no, if someone has like a
so maybe he should have signed right after starting to, or I guess try to find a record deal and sign to the powers that be right after working with Ye, is what Hello Yasim is trying to say. Here's the thing though. I don't know, man. It's a good look for writing for Ye. Did y'all know this though? Let me ask you guys in the comments. Comment gang strong. One in the chat if you knew that Ye was working with a Toronto rapper. All right, well, for all intents and purposes, we'll call him a Toronto rapper. On his last few projects. 2 in the chat if you had no idea. All right, we're not going to ask you if you know who Sean Leon is. I'm sure there's people who do know, and then there's people who don't know. But 1 in the chat if you already knew this. 2 in the chat if you had no idea that Sean Leon, or that Ye had an artist named Sean Leon writing on his last few projects. So stay true. Put a 1 in the chat here. Carol put a 2. Neil Davis put a 1. Gucci Ghost put a 2. Two Fly Who This put a 2. Vinny B put a 2. There's too many 2s in there, which is helping to prove Sean Leon's point. You feel me? Because he's trying to blow up himself as an artist. He's been writing. He's been doing this thing from before working with Ye, and now post working with Ye, there's a bunch of people who have no idea that he had this guy writing on the album. I think he might have gotten more props if he had found Ye pre-life of the life of Pablo. In my opinion, if he got with Ye on even on that the Life of Pablo project, if he was with Ye on that project, I'll even push it as far as to say if he was with Ye on the Jesus is King project, like up to that time, it's a good look. Musically, everything, like image-wise, it's a good look. He ain't crashed out yet, crashed out to the way he is now. And the music was way better. But anything post those times, it's still going to be a stunt to work with Ye. But Ye's music has gotten shit. All right. Like, he has the one feature from Kanye. It didn't get him over 1 million views. And that was from 2 years ago. So that also says a lot. Because if that was Kanye 6-7 years ago, and you do a feature with Kanye West, you can be a complete nobody, and that feature is out of here. But 2 years ago, you do a feature with Kanye West, the algorithm is not even probably pushing it as much because of his problematic ways. The music is not going to be as good, or like you're going to have to write Kanye's parts, obviously, because Kanye has gotten, respectfully, his music has gotten shit, man. The beats are still good. He's still an amazing producer. That's never going to go away. But the lyrics that he puts over these new songs, they're usually trash, bro. The lyrics. I seen some people even on Reddit saying, "Yo, the Heil H guy songs kind of slaps." Y'all gone too far. That's wild. This is the song from Donda 2. And salute to Torontology. See, there we go. It's Torontology. I'm using this for my reference. I feel like Sean Leon doesn't get enough doesn't get the love and respect he deserves. So what if top 5 is in Spain with Ye? Sean Leon has 2 songs on the new Donda album. This sub is heavily skewed towards the chaos and blah blah blah. Okay, well, I don't care about that.
It'd be best if I stop. Let me not go for apes. For babe, I was down on skate, keep push. We just said goodbye, but it's straight. I with her vibe, that's okay. It's okay, babe. Got me in.
It reminds me of like the type of shit that you might be playing in a movie background or something. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't remind me of like music that I'm bumping in the car. However, I didn't give it a proper spin. I ain't gonna lie, I haven't been giving Kanye's music as much of a chance even.
The ties and the days, protect my mind, protecting what's mine.
All right, yeah, so y'all can go check that out on the Donda 2 project. Yeah, salute to Sean Leon, man. Keep doing your thing. I still think that a part of that is the toxicity, the radioactiveness of Kanye. It's a good time to get out of the way. We could blame it on saying, you know what, it's not really helping me advance my career. Also being next to a guy who wears one of those things on his chain as a pendant, and puts on full triple K suits and stuff like that, that doesn't help your image neither. So you're doing the right thing from getting out the way right now, man. Salute to Sean Leon. Let me address some of these comments here. Let me see. Carol says, if you got with Kanye, what you mean? Salute to Greasy Dex. It says, after working with Ye, I didn't see much people gravitating towards him. Exactly. Vinny B says, you got to rinse Tilly to hang with Ye. Ask top 5. Ooh. Carol says, Kanye and Ye is completely different people. True. Very true. There was this comment that stood out to me right here. Yo, Friday, why you only cover street artists? I don't only cover street artists. Like, how do I break this down? Most of the time when I cover news stories, or when we cover news stories on the podcast, we do give like some kudos to, for example, we talked about Free and the tour that he did on this last episode. And we talked about Casper TNG and how he's trending for his new music video, and why do fans love him so much. So those are topics that are not on the mix-up shit, and I guess Casper is a bad example, but at the same time, we weren't talking about a story about him crashing out or something. But the way I do it is I'll cover the street shit. I'll cover anything that somebody who went to jail, they shot somebody, all that mixy, crazy shit. I'll cover that shit. But I'll also interview an artist who ain't about all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? I had a conversation a couple of months ago with Dylan Ponders, who has mad accolades, 2 gold records or 2 gold plaques. He has the Guinness Book of World record. He's been doing this thing for years. I interview the people who aren't into the mix-up. But when it's time to talk about the mix-up, I'm going to talk about that shit. So I try to, give the best of both worlds. You feel me? But moving on, there's something I wanted to address, because I've been seeing a lot of videos popping up in the algorithm about the anniversary of the Drake and Kendrick beef. And low-key, I didn't realize that it needed an anniversary. Is that a thing that do we need an anniversary for the beef between Kendrick Lamar and Drake? Am I not doing the right thing? Should I be covering this? Should I be doing a breakdown on each song about the battle, about, when Push-Ups came out, and, then talk about when Euphoria came out, and should we psychoanalyze Tailor-Made Freestyle all over again a year later? Like, am I not doing my job? Let me know, because I'll do it. I do this shit for y'all, fam. I'm not going to not give the audience what they want. But I started seeing bare YouTube videos popping up, like, breaking down the anniversary. And it's like, y'all don't got anything else to talk about? I don't know. It's not something that entertained me. It wasn't something that stood out in my mind where I'm like, yo, oh yes, it's the anniversary of the battle. Yeah, Greasy Dex, I realized that moment was definitely huge, right? But was it an important moving, an important cornerstone in our hip hop culture? Is it a change in the guards and the way that we move forward and the way that we analyze hip hop now, and the way that it's going to be coming from a better place of positivity and all that type of bullshit that people are trying to like spin on this thing? Or was it just a time when everybody just got an extra audience boost? Was it a time when everybody just made a little bit more money off of AdSense on their channel? Because that's how I see it. And listen, I know there's going to be the K-bots that jump in the comments and be like, oh, you only saying that because your GOAT lost. Nigga, I don't care. Drake win, Drake lost. We made money anyway. In my opinion, like, yo, we got to cover sick tunes on both sides. There was a bunch of songs that were whitelisted, and we all got the cake up. But as far as like, oh, did you know it's May the 1st? Are we going to do that next year too? Yo, it's May the 1st. It's the 2nd anniversary of the time that Drake and Kendrick had a battle. Because I don't see us having I don't remember exactly what the date was when when Nas and Jay had the battle. I don't know the exact month. Oh, it was July of 1990 something. Like, I'm not celebrating this time when Ether dropped. I don't care. And back then, I was there. We didn't celebrate it a year later. Like, yo, guess what, guys? It's 1 year. It's the 1 year anniversary since Ether dropped. You know what I'm saying? Since Nas beat Jay. You remember that, man? Woo! Like, are the K-Barbs having like cookouts and celebration parties and shit like that for this shit? Like, what are we doing right here, man? And I'm not trying to hate on anybody getting their money. If it's a money play, then just say it's a money play. No, this is something that needs to be celebrated. This is a milestone in hip-hop history. Yes, it's the biggest battle that ever happened in all of hip-hop history, I guess. Second only to Jay and Nas. But I'll say again, like, I don't give a fuck. It's nothing. It's not an anniversary, in my opinion. So I just wanted to get that off my chest. All right. Salute to Drake. Salute to Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick's tour is doing great. Maybe it's because I cover Toronto topics. All right. Stay True says the real beef is Drake and UMG. That kind of prolonged everything where we're still talking about it. Because every time there's another injunction or anything that happens in that case, it got to come back up again. But as far as psychoanalyzing what's going on or what happened between the Drake and Kendrick Lamar beef, I don't care, B. I'm sorry, man. And if that means I'm not doing my job as a content creator and as a journalist, I apologize. I have failed you guys. This is it right here. When I cut this up and clip this, I'll be like, why I don't care about the anniversary of Drake and Kendrick Lamar. All right. I've done my part for the culture. All right. But yeah, I'm just not doing it, man. I'm not breaking down these songs. If you guys drop some new shit, I'll break that down. But I'm not breaking down Family Matters again and The Heart Part 6. But what really happened? No, if you really think about it, 1 year later, nah, bro. I don't care, man. I'm sorry, man. All right. Like I said, maybe it's because I got my own shit to talk about. Toronto, to me, Canada, but specifically because I'm over here in Toronto, is way more interesting than a lot of the shit that is going on in this whole hip-hop scene. I could stay just cranking out Toronto topics for the rest of the year and not care about what's going on with Lil Durk and his case and not care about Bobby Shmurda only selling 10 tickets for each place on his tour. We don't got to cover that shit. We got our own universe over here. All right. It's called Canada. So I don't know. I'm just not running out of topics. So I'm going to keep it moving, but it's just not going to be about Drake and Kendrick. I'm sorry. Anyhow, and salute to any content creators who are like beating the shit out of this Drake and Kendrick topic, but it ain't going to be me, bro. I'm going to do homie a favor right here. It says GTA 6 trailer reaction, or the second trailer reaction. I'll do this for you, bro. Yo, family, because it's not on my list. If you feel like donating, you could even do the base amount. Send a quick donation. I'll do that reaction for you ASAP, because I got other topics to get to. All right? Salute to Big Sazy in the building too, man. Sazy, pull up, man. Let's get our interview popping, man. But yeah, I'll definitely react to that. If you send a donation, bro. It's not in my topic wheelhouse. I'm not a gamer. Okay. Let's get to some topics here again. I want to say R.I.P. to Pat Stay. Condolences to his family. There has been some new developments as far as what's going on with the case of what happened with the with him, like the person who actually took his life, right? For the people who don't know, Pat Stay's life was taken back in 2021, if I'm not mistaken. I'll fact check that in a second. But a few years ago, he was leaving a wedding reception, and he got into an altercation with a gentleman on the road. He was with a few of his friends there. Everybody was just having a good time, and they bumped into somebody on the road. Some shit went down, and he ended up getting stabbed, and he lost his life from the injuries of the stabbing. Okay, Pat Stay, an amazing battle rapper. Okay, he's been pivotal in the whole KOTD, King of the Dot scene. He was a podcaster as well. He started his own podcast during right before the pandemics. He's done legendary things with battle rap, with rhymes. He had the compliment battle. For people who don't know what a compliment battle, crazy shit, like where he's just complimenting the other person with bars, but like sick, right? Like he's come out in costumes. He's done wild shit when it comes to this battle rap scene, man. And yeah, they're saying now that his killer is going to trial this week. I got some links that I'll pull up. And yeah, man, R.I.P. to Pat Stay, man. I got a chance. I'm so glad that I got a chance to interview him before his passing. It was such a sudden passing too. It wasn't like, he passed of some health conditions or something like that. It was just like went to a wedding, next day he wasn't here, and tore up the scene. Like the whole hip hop scene was crushed. So this is courtesy of Trapmatic TV. Let me get some water. So it says the murder trial for legendary Canadian and global battle rapper Pat Stay will officially start on May 12th in Nova Scotia, Canada, after several years delay in court. This is hope to bring the justice for his family, his children, his loved ones, his friends, and anyone who is a part of his life or followed his career in the hip hop and battle rap scene. Pat Stay was murdered and set up for no good reason. I don't know about set up. I feel like that was just not an accident, but like a one-off type of incident. But we'll continue. The infamous Nova Scotia-born battle rapper cemented his name as the greatest battle rapper of all time, paving his way through the BR scene and with KOTD, or the battle rap scene, and with KOTD. Multiple artists will tell you how good and talented Pat Stay was, and he got a lot of love everywhere and around the world he went. Eminem even gave his condolences after Pat Stay passed away. R.I.P. Pat Stay, man. So yeah, they're starting the trial this week. I really wish there was more information that was that happened with that we were able to get when it came to this. You know what I'm saying? Let me do my due diligence and see if there's any stories on YouTube about this. Let's go to these YouTube streets. I might be one of the only content creators covering this over here. Pat Stay murder trial. 7 months ago, justice for Pat Stay. Please watch this. Hold on, let me see what this is. We'll watch that in a second. I'm just trying to see if there's any anybody who's covered this. Pat Stay. Let me see this here first.
A funeral and a celebration of life held Sunday for Pat Stay, the Nova Scotian battle rapper stabbed at a Halifax bar just over a week ago. He was pronounced dead in hospital. Police were called to the Yacht Club Social on Lower Water Street just after midnight, September 4th. Monday, 31-year-old Adam Joseph Drake made his first formal court appearance in the case by video link. He's accused of killing Stay and has been charged with first-degree murder after his arrest Saturday in Tantallon. Global News asked Halifax Regional Police if they're looking for any other suspects.
At this point, the investigation is continuing.
I feel like this guy's face looks familiar.
Investigators are still looking into everything that happened that evening, and we would encourage anyone who has information to come forward and provide that information so we can really determine exactly what happened.
Drake is no stranger to the justice system. He was charged with murder in the 2016 death of Tyler Kaiser in Halifax, but that charge was dropped before a 2021 trial. The Crown saying it didn't have a
This guy's out here on a spree.
reasonable prospect for conviction. Kaiser's sister and stepmother sat in court for Drake's video appearance Monday afternoon.
We want to show support to the family. We also want answers in our own case for Tyler Kaiser. As far as we're concerned, we shouldn't be here today. Pat Stay should still be here, and Adam Drake should have been.
Whoa. And salute to What's the Dirt. He said that dude has multiple bodies. He's basically a serial killer. For real, eh? What's this?
Charged, serving a life sentence already in the murder of our son.
Meantime, the Crown prosecutor on the file had this to say.
Mr. Drake's background in these particular charges have nothing to do with, one has nothing to do with the other. These are new charges. This is a new homicide. We're going to focus on this, the investigation and the eventual prosecution of Mr. Drake in this matter.
Bro, I turn the game to a scrimmage. Just give them a show. I even let you pick the judges. I let the fans on the internet vote.
Stay released this track against The Game on September 2nd. High-profile rappers, including Eminem, have shared their condolences, and a GoFundMe page set up for Stay's family has surpassed 200.
That's crazy. So this guy has a few bodies under his belt. Heinous murder of Pat Stay. I feel like I'm not a lot.
My friend had his life taken away 2 years ago, and the person that allegedly did it has a chance of getting away with this for the 5th time. Please stick with this. 2 years ago, one of the best entertainers in the world, one of the best.
The 5th time? What the hell, bro?
Battle rappers in the world, Pat Stay, was killed. And people sometimes get a violent idea when they hear battle rapper, but Pat was really anything but that. He was more of a family guy. He was raising 2 kids. He was interested in making comedy, funny skits. He and I even did a compliment rap battle. Here's a picture of him and I riding a carousel together just to kind of illustrate his character. Just a ridiculous, hilarious human being. The night that Pat had his life taken, he was at the wedding of one of his closest friends. He was lured from there to a nightclub by someone he thought he could trust to meet a man named Adam Drake. At the night
Thank you. Okay, let's continue.
Club, which Adam Drake invests in.
This is the info
Pat
I
was
needed.
Jumped, stabbed in the heart, continuously beaten after he was stabbed, and eventually died on the streets of Halifax, Nova Scotia. Soon,
Definitely a setup.
the trial starts with a charge of second-degree murder. And it's looking like there's a better chance that Adam Drake walks again. And why do I say again? Because allegedly, this could be the 5th time that Adam Drake gets away with this. First, the alleged murder of Tyler Kaiser in 2016, where the Crown said that there was no longer a reasonable prospect of conviction. Second, the alleged murder of John Newcomb in 2012, where there were witnesses, but no one will come forward. Third, the alleged attempted murder of Brandon Anderson in 2013. Brandon Anderson later died because of complications from this case. And once again, the prosecutor said that there was no realistic prospect of conviction. Fourth, the alleged rumored murder of Ryan Neely in 2018. Ryan Neely was in the medical marijuana business. One of his stores had been firebombed earlier that year. Coincidentally, Adam Drake is also in the medical marijuana business. And now,
hold on. Hold the freaking phone, man. Yes, I understand serial killer, but this guy sounds more like a hired hitman. And, you know, I guess hitmen can be borderline serial killers because if you're out there doing multiple hits and you space them into a certain amount of time, once you pass 2, you get into serial killer territory. But I feel it's not like on some serial killer shit where he's just a sick individual that's running around there just taking random bodies. Like, I think this guy has intention, is what I'm trying to say. All right. I don't know why they try to set up Pat Stay in that way, like luring him to a club is crazy. But I don't feel like he's just some random, like he's not some Jeffrey Dahmer looking for his victims type shit. Like, no, he's probably being paid per victim. Rob Base 420 says if you have more than one body, you're a serial killer. Yes and no. It's also, I think it's a matter of timing. Right? It's something I've seen. It's a statistic when it comes to this. It's a timing thing. Like if you have to kill within a space of months for it to be considered serial, I guess. Serial killer meaning. Okay, so what do we have here? A person who commits a series of murders, often with no apparent motive, and typically following a characteristic, predictable behavior pattern. I feel there's something that let's do this. This is a weird thing to look up. How many? Yo, please, FBI, don't come looking for me for this search here. How many murders to be a serial killer? So a person generally considers a serial killer if they have murdered 3 or more people in separate events. Okay, so I can't be like in one sitting where like they just went to one place and just plugged like 3 people. They wouldn't be considered a serial killer in that case, like the school shooters and stuff like that. All right. What's there to stay away from covering that guy? Yo, Omni. I'm already in the weeds over here, bro. Yeah, I wish you had told me this before I started the story. I was going to do a video, but was literally told by multiple people to stay away from covering him. So what are you trying to say? Like, you know what I need to do? 1 second. Okay. Yo, fuck. Join the convo. I'm putting a link in the chat. Matt, if you do have time, pop out. We don't have to talk about it, but you seem to be a little bit more in the know than me on this, bro. Holy shit. YK TFV says shut it down, Fry. We already here, my guy. All right, man. We're gonna sacrifice that shit for the content, man. I'm gonna sacrifice myself for the content. If this guy if he's gonna come to Toronto, oh, he's not a serial killer. We established that already. He's not a serial killer. He's probably part of an organization. Jesus Christ. Hold on.
Get my
Yo, what's good?
What is popping, bro? Should I keep going, man?
Bro, I don't know all the particulars, right? But I was gonna fly out to Scotia and do like a full story on this. And I talked to a bunch of people because I want to do a story on how like the justice system failed, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I talked to enough people who are closer to the situation, multiple people, and they all were like, bro, stay far away from that. Do not get involved. Like basically what I was told. But I do know, I was told that guy's he's caked up, like he's rich, right? That dude's a millionaire. And
That's why he keeps on beating these cases.
probably, yeah, I'm sure he's got a really good legal team. And, well, you know the way Canada is, right? It's not like America when it comes to that shit. The last person that I talked to about the case was Holohan. You know Holohan, right? The battle
Yeah,
rapper.
yeah. Salute to Holohan.
And he was telling me like, "Oh man, this guy might fucking walk. He might be getting away with this." But it looks like the trial's going ahead. So that was months back, right? But he was tripping out. Hopefully, apparently it was all over a girl.
Really?
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah, that's what it all derived over. Like someone from years before too.
So
because that dude's done quite a bit of time too, right?
yeah, but he's never got in any cases, or he never got any convictions for any of his bodies or alleged bodies.
No, none of his. He's gotten away with every, and that's just the ones that he's been like caught for, right? Apparently, this guy's a fucking menace, right?
Damn.
So
Okay.
he took out the wrong guy, though, man, because we love Pat, Fuck,
Yeah.
I'm wearing a classified hoodie right now.
Yeah, you're from them side. You're not from Nova
Yeah,
Scotia, but you're from that side of the country.
yeah, exactly. So I've talked to Quake about this shit too many times, who was like pretty much as close as you could get with Pat, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, most people told me to avoid it because I was like, fuck, this would be a really good story, like a boots on the ground documentary where I could go talk to the families of the other people that he, the lives that he took from them and make a story out of it. But yeah, like people told me, just don't go anywhere near it.
Yo, that just made my skin crawl. Yo.
Yeah, so I was like, all right, I'm good.
No, because I'm thinking about the piece itself and how goated it would be to get what do you call that? Testimony from other people's families and
Yeah,
stuff
like a
like
real
that.
documentary.
Yeah, but then I'm also thinking you might not be able to complete it. Like during the making
Well,
of this documentary, Matt's life was taken, and it's like,
yeah,
oh no! But
exactly.
this is what we were able to salvage and let you see.
Well, there's that part of it, and there's a part that apparently it would be very difficult to get people to even take part in the documentary, to get them to talk about anything, to even get them to comment on it, like whether they were there that night or even like on some of the other stuff that the dude was involved in.
Yeah.
Apparently, it'd be very because like people like say Quake, for example, he's pretty close to that, right? Like he lives there. So for someone like me, it's all right to fly out there and then dip. But those people gotta live there.
Yeah, and they're
So
gonna know that you're friends with those people, so now they're gonna have smoke.
exactly. So it was like getting kind of far away from what I do on the channel too, right? So but I just thought it would be really dope because I'm a big fan of Pat and I was just gonna do it. I was gonna donate all the money from the doc to Pat.
Yeah.
To his family, right? But yeah, it is what it is.
So let me ask you one last question, and I don't want to drag you into the mud with me because I'm gonna keep going after we get off this call. Do you think that he's part? And I'm not gonna say what part or who, but do you think he's part of an organization?
Yes. Yeah. Big time.
Holy shit.
Big time. Apparently big time. And it's not a Canadian organization.
Holy shit.
Yeah, apparently he's like plugged in. And I don't know if what you said was right about him being like a hit guy or whatever, but I do know that he's caked up and that obviously he's got a lot of money to throw at legal fees. But there was a lot of people there that night, right? Like and he set Pat up, right? Because apparently he was texting Pat and saying like, "Lo, let's squash it," because Pat was at a wedding, and they were supposed to
Hold on.
squash.
Let's squash what? They had beef?
Yeah, they had beef over some girl or something, and he was like writing on Pat's Facebook like, "I'm gonna see you" and shit like that. And then they ended up texting that night when Pat was at a wedding, and he was like, "Come to the club and let's patch it up, right? Let's hash it up because I know you're downtown." So when he went there, he wet him up. Like he set him up, right? He had no intentions of. That's the story that I was told by multiple people. That
Yo,
Pat went there with good intentions, thinking that things were going to be squashed between them, and he kind of like he had the knife in the club. That's another thing too, is like the security of the club, how like he had the weapon in there. I think that probably will end up being a whole other. If I was Pat's family, I would probably get a case going for that.
yeah, but there's also that power, right? The kind of the part of
Yeah.
why it's kind of a touchy story, because it's one thing to
Yeah.
have money. There's a lot of people can have money. Anybody can have money, but
Oh
it's one
yeah.
thing if you have some power with that money. So
Oh well, yeah.
you
I've
got
been
the
at the
power to
night.
make things go away. You got the power to make you be able to walk into clubs with things that you ain't supposed to have. You
Oh
have
yeah,
power
like
to make people look the other way.
yeah. I mean, I've been at the nightclubs before, and I'm like, they're like, take your hat off when you go in. I look over at the bar. I'm like, how come those guys can't? How come they don't have to take their hats off? It's like we don't talk about them. I'm like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, they're like, what hats? What hats? I
What
don't see
hats?
any hats.
Sit the fuck down.
You get out.
You get out. Ask too many questions.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna let you go.
Yeah.
I appreciate you giving me filling me in with as much as you can.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
No, as much as I can. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I,
Exactly.
I I appreciate this, man. And we're gonna tap in soon, bro. We need to get some more West of Dirt videos back out there in these YouTube
I
streets,
got
man.
I got 2 on YouTube right now, like unlisted that are done videos. But I got one banger I'm working on. I'm gonna drop that one, and then I'm gonna drop another one a few days later, another one a few days later, another. So May's gonna be big. I'm gonna be dropping a bunch of videos in May.
Dope.
I got the one video I'm doing now is the history of Kendrick and Kanye, because you know how Kanye is. Lately he's been saying a lot of shit about Kendrick, but he didn't always feel that way.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
interesting to hear him go from in 2016 where he called Kendrick the God MC, and now he's saying that he can't rap.
Yeah.
So that triggered me, inspired me to like look into the history, and they actually got a pretty big history. There's a lot there, so that's the next one.
Okay, we'll be looking out for that.
All right, bro.
All right, thank you, brother.
All right, man. Appreciate you, man. But
Salute to Matt from West of Dirt, man. I know there's people are gonna watch this back later and be like, "Oh my God, how did you talk to him?" Yo, we do whatever we want over here at the We Love Hip Hop Network, bro. We are our own thing. We are our own thing, bro. We do what we want over here, family. Anyhow, let's go back to this thing here, man. He's giving me all the reasons of why not to continue to look through this video. Oh, man. But here we are. Let's continue.
The murder of Pat Stay, and that doesn't even include the 2007 case where he stabbed 4 security guards. Neither here nor there. And this is just the stuff that I know about. I'm just a random guy from the States. And now it seems like he's going to get away with this again, from the words of the mother of Pat Stay's children.
This isn't looking great. This isn't looking great because of lack of evidence. Lack of evidence for a murder that happened in a crowded nightclub with video footage. And we're lacking evidence.
Inexplicably, the charge seems to be second-degree murder, when Pat was clearly lured to the nightclub and premeditatedly murdered. When Adam Drake made menacing comments on Pat's social media leading up to the event, and privately sent him even more intimidating messages. And that's not to mention the reports that he's been acting arrogantly in the courtroom, or the fact that the day after Pat Stay was murdered, Adam Drake followed the mother of Pat Stay's children on Instagram and on Facebook. Because honestly,
We gotta let that breathe for a second. This nigga is a menace. He's following the man's moms and shit. Holy shit, man. He's gonna walk, bro. He's gonna walk right out that courtroom, George Jefferson style. This is crazy.
the story gets even deeper than that. On the night that Pat was murdered, there were 2 plainclothes police officers at the bar where it happened, but there was no arrest made, and Pat somehow died alone on the streets of Nova Scotia with no one there to help him, no one there to...
Yo, what the fuck am I hearing right now, man? Yeah, I might need to back out of this story. Holy shit, man. You got officers right there. Oh, this nigga's got stupid power in that neighborhood. God is the greatest says it can't be over a girl. Yeah, and it's kind of hard to believe when people are willing to take somebody's life that it's over, you know, relationships or lack of or stuff like that. But yeah, you might be right still, broski. I know Pat Stay, he wasn't really into the street shit. Like his image never even portrayed that type shit. Like I had a great interview with him and we spoke about his life and his anger issues and different things like that. And it's never been, oh, him being a street guy and this is what the type of issues he's gotten into. It's just always been like bar fights type of shit. All right. I'll play that in a second, but like, whew, this is spooky.
To defend him. Even with this amount of evidence, still seems that this man is likely to go free.
Mainly it's because people are so scared of this man. People are not showing up to court because they're scared of this man. And it's just so ironic because if we're lacking evidence, then he might get out of jail earlier than he deserves to be.
The people are not going to court because they're scared of this man. People are telling me not to. People are telling Matt not to do the story. I guess I've been advised, and I'm going to clip it. You know, I clip everything, you know, DJ Ricky Vlad. But Jesus.
So you can't be that scared of him if you're okay with him hitting the streets sooner than he deserves. Like,
this is clearly a pattern of behavior, intimidation, and corruption. There are never successful prosecutions, partially because witnesses are scared. And I get why they're scared, because people keep on getting killed. This is a post from Pat Stay's brother, basically begging anyone to come forward who has any information on this case, basically saying that you'll never be able to forgive yourself, and Pat would never forgive you if you didn't come forward and rectify this injustice. The fact that this could happen on video in a crowded nightclub with witnesses while there were plainclothes police officers there and still nothing is happening, and that there's even the potential that the person that did this can walk away is...
And if you put it down to second degree,
a severe miscarriage of justice. But this video is an appeal to justice, an appeal to the memory of Pat Stay, that the positivity that he put out into the world can trump whatever evil is going on here. Please share this. Please spread awareness. And if you're involved, please do what you can to honor Pat's legacy. There's video from that night, and I'll never watch it in my life, but I'm told that Pat's final words were not like this. Not like this. Please don't let it end like this.
I just put a chill up my spine. R.I.P. to Pat Stay, man. I didn't expect to get this deep into the weeds for this story, to be honest. I was just trying to make the announcement that like they're gonna do the they're gonna start the trial this week, but here we are. This is from 2 years ago. And I interviewed him a year before that. All right. I got to start going back and putting timestamps in these old interviews.
And I would type for hours on a keyboard that was completely unplugged, no computer. So why am I angry? There's all kinds of women.
Okay, right here. This is the only time, like I was telling y'all before, like he wasn't on some gangster shit. Like the only time he would get into conflicts is like he said through his anger and stuff, right?
You know, and now that I'm content and I'm surrounded with, you know, positivity and love and my kids and stuff all the time.
Right
I'm about to like get mad or some of that. And to this day, I don't truly know the fucking reason. And
my bad.
Music and the way you attack each.
Sure, yeah, no, that's cool. in a rap battle.
Different part of the brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It attacks different. Yeah.
And you've talked about like having drunken nights, putting fans into garbage cans and shit like that, bro. Talk to me about your relationship with alcohol. I'm gonna get into my Dr. Phil bag for a quick second, man.
Sure. Yeah, no, that's cool. I think that was a part of my finding myself growing. I don't know. I really don't know why to this day that I drank so much and why I would become this angry person, because I'm not an angry person. And what would happen was, I just think it must have been like an insecurity or something, but I would get so drunk and I would just turn, and you could just see it in my eyes. Anyone that know me, anyone that's even seen me in the bar, they're like, oh shit, like, fuck
Shit's about
this.
to pop.
Yeah, and I don't want to sound tough. Like, I don't want to sound like I was crazy or something like that. But even my own friends would be like, man, I know when to leave you, bro. You got that look in your eyes, and you're just not happy. You're not having fun. You're not enjoying anyone around. I'm about to like get bad or some of that. And to this day, I don't truly know the fucking reason. And
it might be that you're just keeping your guard up, like you were saying earlier, and then now that you eased it down, it might, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's probably what it was. That's just you keeping up that guard, right, with the alcohol. I'm not, you know.
Yeah, but even like some of my my friends who were really really out there, they would be happy when they're drunk. Where I really didn't have that much to be on guard about, because I wasn't like deep in the streets and nothing like that. So I really I didn't have that much of a reason. So it must have just been something in my like self-confidence, like I don't know. I really don't know. But and even with that said, with that being said, why would I keep drinking? And I would drink every single day, daily, and I would become this person. It was very, very rare to see me drunk and be like, yo, Pat seems so happy tonight. To be like, oh shit, I see that angry Pat, and I just don't even want to be around. You know what I mean?
So that, like I said, like this is the only time that said that he would get into any type of altercations is when he get on some drunk shit. You know what I'm saying? But as far as like reasons for people to have a vendetta against him, and listen, this is from me speaking from the outside. I'm not out there. I'm not from the East Coast. So I don't know the intricacies of what's going on over there with his world. But from what I can see and from the conversations that I've had and just from people who I've spoken to also, he's never been on some shit where like somebody would want to like take his life. All right. So I don't know, man. I feel that this is going to be something that we need to look into a little bit more. I might get some DMs or some text messages about this shit. You never know. It's not something that's out of the wheelhouse. That's something that's never happened before. So I want to say RIP to Pat Stay. I feel that this gentleman, like the justice system, should be able to do what they need to do to the full degree, right? I'm not here trying to say, like, I'm not trying to wish jails on man, but at the same time, I'm not trying to see people out here murdering people, bro. It's not that type of party, man, where it's like, yo, free everybody. Nah, not if you're out here taking people's lives. Not only like the lives of people who I know, just anybody's life. It's not on a free type of thing, bro. So for it to even be a second degree, there's some serious foul play going on in that side of the country, bro. Yeah, man. R.I.P. to Pat Stay, man, and condolences to his family. Yo. Hold your head, yo. I know y'all are going through it right now. I'm gonna move on though. A couple of more things that I have on my list. Where are we at right now? 2 hour mark. Okay, I could cook a couple more things here. I want to just touch on a quick American topic here. Jadakiss and Fat Joe are starting a podcast. All right, I feel like it's a good look. I might want to ask you guys something in the chat over here. I'll ask you guys a question. Let me see. Do you want, or would you watch a Jadakiss and Joe? I'll put Fat Joe pod. All right, they're going to be part of the long list of artists who have become podcasters. Joe Button, Nori, Friday Ricky Dread. There's a lot of people who have become podcasters that used to be rappers over the years. And I don't think that it means that Jadakiss and Fat Joe are going to stop making music, even though they're getting to that age where they don't do music. They're not putting out music at as much anymore at the same clip. But do y'all want to hear from Jadakiss and Fat Joe together on a podcast? I have a clip or something I can pull up here. Let's see here. Let's see. I got a post courtesy of 92 Bricks. And listen, please, please let this not be a freaking troll or fake news. Fake news. So this is courtesy of 92 Bricks. It says Jadakiss and Fat Joe are teaming up to enter the podcast space with their new show, Joe and Jada, where they'll discuss music, sports, culture, and more. The press release on Monday, May 5th, confirmed that the show will be produced by The Volume. Wow. They took that 100 million from Shannon Sharp, took about 10 of that and said, yo, here Jada, here Joey, hold that. That's crazy. The Volume and Rock Nation. And will air twice a week starting this week. My brother Jadakiss and I will be delivering a podcast experience like no other, Joe said. And we're both passionate and opinionated about music, sports, entertainment, and culture. So you could definitely expect to get an unfiltered analysis, versatile interviews, and untold stories. We're coming to shake up the podcast game and set a new blueprint. I see what you did there, Joe. I see that, Joe. You know, the blueprint, Rock Nation. Anyhow, Jada added, I'm looking forward to teaming up with Joe on this podcast and showing another side of my personality. We've been friends for a long time, and we have the right chemistry and foundation to make this a really special show. Everyone is finally going to hear what we debate and discuss all the time behind the scenes. Will you be tuning in to Jada or Joe and Jada's new podcast? Y'all messing with this? I'm with it. I think it would be interesting. Joey Crack gets himself canceled every couple of months. He can get up there, tell a bunch of lie stories. Jadakiss could laugh. I'm with it. I do think, and I'm not to be a pessimist, it's hard for rappers when they're still actively out there touring, doing their thing. Like, I feel like Fat Joe is still out there performing and coming up with new songs. Same thing with Jadakiss. Not as much as back in the days, but they're still actively doing their thing. Sometimes it gets a little bit spotty when it comes to guys like that and the consistency, because they'll be consistent for like 2-3 months, maybe bank a couple of episodes, and then, oh, I'm going on tour. I'll tap in virtually, you know, I'll get up on Zoom and do a couple of episodes on Zoom, and then, you know, they miss a week because, I had to go to Dubai and get a bag over there, and it's kind of hard to balance both being a touring, performing rapper and keeping a podcast schedule, especially if they're going to be doing twice a week. Hey, don't get me wrong. They're getting the bag from The Volume, so that can encourage somebody to sit on their ass and say, you know what? I don't need to go on tour. How many million you're going to give me? I'll sit down. I'll turn down these tour dates. I ain't going over there, and I'll go sit down and go get this bag. But I'm with it, man. I'm down to see this shit. Is it out now? Let me see if I can find a Joe and Jada clip going on, because I haven't seen anything on the timeline. That's why I'm hoping that this is not like some May Fool shit. Let's see, Joe and Jada. 16 hours ago. Yo, what's Hassan saying about these niggas, bro? Leave the niggas alone. Let's see.
Shall we begin? Shall we begin?
Let's go.
You already know the rules. When you come in my house, take off your shoes and super violate that like button. Now,
I got you, bro.
Jada and Fat Joe coming out with a podcast together. What do I think about it? For hip hop, I think it's dope. Fat Joe and Jadakiss coming out with a podcast together. For hip hop, it might be dope, right? We already see the chemistry between Cam and Mace. We already see the chemistry between Gilly and Wallow.
True.
I only got one problem with it.
Oh, fuck.
Back when, back a couple of years ago, YouTube tried to take the check mark from the content creators, and the content creators flipped. So they left us with our check mark. Now, the word celebrity means those who are famous. So when you look at, and I know some of y'all don't like it, but content creators is taking over. It's killing. The rap game is over with. The rap game is over with. And if Jadakiss and Fat Joe is going to get on a podcast and start running their mouth, start talking about the industry, because the rap game is officially all the way over. There's no more money left in. Ever since
Okay, I thought he was gonna shit on them. Let's find a clip from Joe and Jada. I thought I was gonna watch a good mark out yellow tape.
So I ain't get high in 35 years. The last time I got high, I ran out the house butt naked in the middle of the night. Long story short, that's my last experience with weed. So Rich opens the dispensary, so we got to stand by the product. So I got to show everybody, yo, this shit is good enough. If I can smoke it, you can smoke it. So I smoke it.
Did you keep your clothes on?
No, listen, I kept my clothes on. I had security and everything on purpose. And what I noticed is I start seeing guys I ain't seen 40 years, like from my projects, just walk up random. A guy I ain't seen 40 years, like, yo, what's up, yo?
The production looks great. Well, it's the volume, and Rock Nation, so duh.
Oh, this, that, the God, Sean Born, this. But this is shit that happen to you when you get high.
Start seeing old.
Yeah, like people you ain't seen 40 years. Like
You might have just made me quit smoking.
Why is that? Because you don't want to see nobody.
People from 34. I don't want to see none of that.
Tracy Morgan said he called the cops on his family when he drive to Inglewood, Jersey, to his mansion. If he see one of his cousins, he's calling the cops like, yo, somebody out there ain't supposed to be in this area. I know for a fact.
I'm with it. The one thing that I do want to know, if they're going to get into, and this is going to be the episode that goes viral, is Jada going to hold this guy to the fire when it comes to that whole FBA conversation? Because if I'm not mistaken, isn't Jadakiss FBA a foundational Black American? So I don't know. He might, if I was producing the show, I would say, bro, ask him about that shit. What about that shit that you were saying over there at Matt's Barbershop? You hate you against the FBA like that? Let's get into some real topics. Let's talk about, Latinos being there in the inception of hip hop. Let's talk about it, Joe. All right? Those are the clips that'll go viral. But hey, look out for the show, Joe and Jada, coming to a streaming platform near you. I guess I think it's probably out, but right now I can only find a clip. But salute to Jadakiss and salute to Joey. I just wanted to put y'all on to something real quick. Couple more topics that I have here. There was something that I was covering the other day when it came to a $300 million crypto heist that happened in the UK. It was something between the Camden Mollies and a gentleman named Broadday. Now, the gentleman Broadday, he got kidnapped, and this was post the whole crypto heist. And he got kidnapped trying to pick up a watch in the United States. The internet, is saying that Top 5 might be connected to this Broadday guy or the Camden Somalis. I don't know. I've seen some posts floating around, and I was like, how is Top 5 wrapped up in this whole shit? And also, where the hell is this nigga? He came back from Spain, and then he went quiet. So I'm going to pull up something courtesy of Six Trench, just so y'all can see what I'm talking about here. I won't spend too long on this story. So, looks like Pedro is cashing in. And the post says Top 5 was spotted with UK artist Broadday AGB on a private jet after the $330 million crypto heist.
Broadday assassin has been released from captivity, released from the DBE dungeons, and he's been seen on a private jet, allegedly with Canadian rapper and demon Top 5. He may be with the Wassers, with Drake shooters. But look, there was a lot of rumors going around about Broadday. People were saying that he had his hand chopped off or a finger chopped off. I don't know if any of that is true. And from the video, so it looks like Broadday assassin has been released from captivity.
Where's this from? Damn, you guys didn't even credit the man shit, bro. This is why people be having beef with these blogs, bro. Let's go do some digging. So I guess they're saying that this Broadday guy got released from being kidnapped. Are you guys up on this whole story? But Broadday. Let's go to UK drill. Hold on, let me just do a quick sweep. See if there's anything I can see before. But this is where I got the story from. 9 hours ago, Total Crime talking about the 300 million crypto robbery. Who's Total Crime? I'm intrigued by this, gang. This is my new hobby, looking into the UK guys who are out here drilling, doing all the killings. Keep me safer. What's going on over here? Cryptocurrency heist are what every criminal in the world wants to get involved with now, because you can make big money with little risk. But this thread might make you get an idea why crypto heist and extortionists get so little publicity. I'm not going through all of this. Let me see if I could find something on Top 5 in here. Because I watched the whole video on it, and we covered it on the podcast earlier this week, so I'm not going to rewatch the video. Camden youths confirmed the robbery. This is the Camden people that they're talking about who did the crypto scam. So, and this is courtesy of Zach XBT. This is one of the pages that has been really revealing everything that's been going on here. So it's update. It's confirmed to be social engineering theft from an elderly individual in the U.S. Updates so far: 7 million has been frozen with the help of Blasey Blah and myself, or Beyonce. What is it? Banatsi. I don't know the word here. Security team and myself. Update: 2 suspects in the 300 million heist. My bad. Randy's in the way here. Including Nina/Mo and Somalian, and a Somalian who operates a call scam center in Camden, UK, and accomplice Work, who assessed the site's call. They have since deleted social media accounts. Let me see something here. Top 5. Suspect is. We're just doing a quick search here to see if they mentioned this whole thing with Top 5. Because hey, I guess the UK drill Reddit is covering this whole shit too, right? Or our Toronto topics too. Broadday. Let's see. We got to make sure that we do our due diligence and try to find everything here. Am I even spelling this nigga's name right? Let me just double check. I'm spelling this guy's name right here. And there's probably new videos on this too, so I'm going to do a quick search onto the videos here. Camden, Somali. Interesting. Okay, 1 second. I'll show y'all what I'm looking at here. Because there's been updates on this story. Let's see. So this is the original piece that I was looking at before. And somebody did a story on this too. Let me see.
I seen this, bro. What the fuck is going on in Camden, bro? Camden Marley's fraud squad make off with 330 million in a crypto heist. Do you man know how much 330 million in a crypto heist is? Somali's got big families, bro. There's like, bro, this can feed your whole family, bro. Like, an average Somali family, look like we need like 200 bags each. But that's too big of a number. Wallahi, that is too big of a number. Does that, you know? If this guy's on you, yo, I'm not gonna lie. Yo, GG's.
For XMR, causing the XMR price to spike 50%. We later found out that an LD
Oh, he's just reacting to the same video that I saw. I'll show you the video that I was watching before. For the people who didn't see the podcast episode.
There's some crazy reports coming in. I've received the information from a reliable source. Some of what I'm about to tell you is alleged. Here are some facts though. On the 28th of April 2025, a suspicious transfer.
I'll just play the beginning.
Potential victim for 3,520 Bitcoin, which is roughly $330.7 million. Shortly after, the funds began to be laundered via 6 instant exchanges and were swapped for XMR, causing the XMR price to spike 50%. We later found out that an elderly US individual was the victim of the devastating $330 million Bitcoin heist, now ranked as the 5th largest in crypto hack history.
Yo, this one elderly individual had mad money in that wallet, bro. To get one individual for that kind of money is crazy.
Attacker used advanced social engineering tactics to gain access to the victim's wallet. On-chain investigator Zach XPT,
Okay, I don't care about this part.
who hit the lick using social engineering to bypass key defenses. Broadday, who you all know as an active gang member and HRB member, is related to one of the hackers. This is how he was able to acquire some of the riches. Now, Broadday would then purchase a Patek from LBDBE, and he was going to link him to give him the rest of the money for it in America. However, when he went to meet him, BA got kidnapped by Gutter DBE, and is still very much kidnapped. My sources tell me he's being held ransom for some of the crypto share.
Now they were going to hold it, or they were holding him for ransom for $25 million. I don't know if they got paid the $25 million and that's why he's free now. And listen, this is all alleged when it comes to him being on a private jet with Top 5. Like, what are they trying to say? Top 5 gave him a lift back to the UK because I guess he was in America trying to buy a Patek Philippe, and he got kidnapped. So I don't know if I can believe that, because where did he pick him up from? It's not like Top 5 can go into the US, private jet or not. He can't go to the US unless he's goes through customs in some kind of way. So he's not just gonna pop by in the private jet, stop at an airport. You know, how did that work? I don't know. I've never been in a private jet before. It doesn't seem plausible to me for those two to be connected. I could be wrong. I haven't spoken to Top 5 behind the scenes. I haven't spoken to him since he was over there in Spain with Ye. So I'm not going to say who knows. I just really find it hard to believe. Like, yo, don't worry. I'll pick you up. I'll drop you off. Drop you off where? Drop you off and you're going to bring him to Canada? Is Broadday in Canada now? I'm just saying. The internet be pulling up all these kind of weird ass rumors and stuff like that. I seen it floating around. I said, let me address this quick just to see if there's any validity to it, if there's any other clips or content about it. So I mean, I ain't gonna spend a bunch of time on it. So salute to Broadday, welcome home, or I guess you're free up, right? If he is free up. And yeah, salute to the Mollies out there, man. Y'all are out there jugging, bro. Y'all are out there scamming crazy. And also salute to the person who got scammed. All right. Sucks to lose $300 million. I'm gonna do one more topic and then we're gonna cut this stream. Because I heard that they're getting rid of Twitter. Right? They might be getting rid of Twitter over here in Canada. I know that there was a scare that was happening once upon a time with TikTok and in the United States, and they did get rid of TikTok for like less than 24 hours. I think they were supposed to be a 3-month thing, no? Did anybody ever check on that, on what's going on with TikTok and them going back out over there in the States and cutting the shit off? Because I thought it was temporary that they were getting the shit back. But yes, I've been told that the Canadian government is looking to get rid of Twitter. I wanted to see in real time. I should have done a little research before, but we'll do it in real time to see if we can find some stuff on that. Well, let's go on Twitter and see what we can find here. Canada banning X.
Have become seas of racism, misogyny, anti.
I think this is the clip. Okay, let's play this.
Large American online platforms have become seas of racism, misogyny, anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, and hate in all its forms. And they're being used by criminals to harm our children. My government will act. And today we're announcing our plan to fight crime, to protect Canadians.
It says it's a deep fake. Let me make sure, man, because like it is true. They do have a lot of bullshit going on right now. I don't know if this is a deep fake. There's a lot of people posting about this shit. The Supreme Court of Canada is leaving X and directing their 400. What's this?
Ditching the platform X, formerly known as Twitter. The Supreme Court of Canada is ditching the platform X, formerly known as Twitter. After a decade on the platform, they're shifting their 45,000 followers to places like LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Edmonton lawyer Eva Chipiuk wrote in criticism of this decision, saying, quote, "This is incredibly disappointing and very telling." And it's not.
There's also a hate speech law that we got to worry about over here. They keep on playing the same post.
Seas of racism, misogyny, anti-Semitism. My government will act. And today we're announcing our plan to fight crime, to protect.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a deep fake there, homie. Because a lot of people are posting the same thing, man. And we got this guy in charge now, right? He's the new prime minister of Canada. Trump likes him. Right? He predicted it. He said, hey, when the election is over, me and Carney are gonna have another conversation. So he was able to tell the future. Is there anything on this conversation that those guys had? Trump, Mark, Carney. Let's see if we can find some of their combo.
Much business with Canada from our standpoint. They don't do much business with Canada from our standpoint. They do a lot of business with us. We're at like 4%, and usually those things don't last very long. You know,
This guy's bright.
Well, if I may,
just they get along very well. They like each other a lot.
well, if I may, as you know from real estate, there are some places that are never for sale.
That's true.
We're sitting in one right now, Buckingham Palace, that you visited as well.
That's true.
And having met with the owners of Canada over the course of the campaign last several months, it's not for sale, won't be for sale.
It's not for sale.
But
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that, the owners of Canada? Who are the owners of Canada?
won't be for sale ever. But the opportunity you visited as well.
That's true.
And having met with the owners of Canada over the course of the campaign last several months, it's not for sale, won't be for sale ever. But the opportunity is in the partnership and what we can build together. We have done that in the past. And part of that, as the president just said, is with respect to our own security. And my government is committed for a step change in our investment in Canadian security and our partnership. And I'll say this as well, that the president has revitalized international security, revitalized NATO, and us playing our full weight in NATO, and that will be part of it.
And they have, I must say, Canada is.
Did we pick the
stepping
right
up
guy,
military,
man?
Participation, because Mark knew, they were low, and now they're stepping it up, and that's a very important thing. But never say never. Never say never.
His energy is very calm as far as this guy here, Mr. Trump. He seems like, yeah, it's my homie, bro. Yo, let's go have a beer after this.
With Canada, from our standpoint,
Well, respectfully, Canadians' view on this is not going to change on the 51st day. Secondly, we are the largest client of the United States in the totality of all the goods. So we are the largest client of the United States. We have a tremendous auto sector between the two of us, and the changes they've made have been helpful. 50% of a car that comes from Canada is American. That's not like anywhere else in the world. And to your question about, is there one thing? No, this is a bigger discussion. There are much bigger forces involved. And this will take some time and some discussions. And that's why we're here, to have those discussions. And that is represented by who.
So I've been looking over on the back end on some other platforms like YouTube and stuff like that, as far as this Twitter ban in Canada. I'm not seeing anything else so far. Canada banning, or let's do this. Twitter ban in Canada. Do y'all care if they ban Twitter in Canada? I don't know how many of y'all are real Twitter users.
Decade, many media outlets cannot actually share their information on Facebook and Instagram. This has really attacked our local independent media, and maybe that's the goal with out of control inflation, rising housing costs, crime and chaos in our streets. Liberals are trying to get a fourth term by shutting out that information. Their entire campaign is based on making you forget what happened over the last 10 years.
Oh, you didn't win, bro. Here's something that where we have an issue with, because when it comes to free speech over here in Canada, it's not so free, right? We already have the News Act that prevents people from seeing news in Canada or social media on social media platforms. There's a lot of censorship that happens over here. Canadian hate speech, social media. Let's do that. Because there's like laws here when it comes to one second, I'll find it. Let's do Canadian hate speech law, social media.
To hatred, incitement to violence. Mr. Speaker, we agree. Incitement to hatred, incitement to violence are not free speech. We need to make sure that the path of reconciliation that this country is on is walked on by everyone. And that's why we've stepped up significantly in our anti-racism strategy, why we continue to work with that member on her private member's bill, why we continue to move forward to make sure that everyone, despite all those who continue to...
This guy looks like he's having Tourette's, to be honest, when he's having a conversation. Canada's new online harm. Okay.
63, which would do just that. The bill.
Sorry,
Does Canada need
it's
an
on one
internet
side.
regulator? The Liberal government thinks so and has introduced Bill C-63, which would
Bill
do just
C-63.
that. The bill would amend the Criminal Code and Human Rights Act, strengthen reporting requirements, also create a new digital safety ombudsperson and commission.
The notion that we're using online harms bill to require the removal of that content, I think really skates very close to unconstitutionality in terms of the freedom of expression protections that we have under the Charter of Rights and Freedoms.
C-63 would also create a digital safety commission appointed by cabinet able to order removal of content. There's also criminal code amendments that create standalone hate crime offenses, allowing penalties of up to life in prison.
What I've learned from
life in prison for doing some shit online.
The stakeholders and the experts whom we have consulted is that there is a determination to demonstrate at the highest level that the maximum penalty for a crime such as advocating or promoting genocide should be increased.
In Ottawa, Shaoli Lee, City News.
Yeah, we're in a weird place when it comes to this country, man. I really hope that they don't take that step to get rid of Twitter, because I use Twitter a lot. I feel like Twitter is a place where I can get a lot of my promotion when it comes to YouTube post, right? You can put links into your caption. There's a lot of advantages for using Twitter over Instagram for me personally, and Reddit for me personally. So I really hope that they don't get rid of Twitter, because I was literally just about to go buy my check mark. But if they do, it's not going to be something that surprises me, man. These guys are really trying to, it kind of comes full circle to what we were talking about earlier in the stream, trying to control the speech. You know, it's one thing of having censorship, but if you control the platform, then you can control the speech. So what Canada is doing when it comes to a lot of the beliefs that people have, or the freedom of to be able to express those beliefs, instead of saying, you know what, I can buy Twitter because the government's not going to buy Twitter from Canada. We can't afford it. Hey, we'll just block you from seeing it. You, whatever agenda that you're trying to cook up over there, quote unquote, I'll say quote unquote agenda, we'll just stop you from being able to access the platform over here. How about that? All right. If you guys are trying to influence the vote to make them vote for conservative next time around, well, guess what? You ain't got no Twitter no more. How about that? Especially when it comes to politics. Twitter is one of the most influential places when it comes to politics, or where people go to when it comes to these social media platforms. A lot of people will also be on Facebook, most definitely. Instagram, not as much. Instagram, obviously, people go for political takes there too, but it's mostly Twitter that makes the shit move. So, all right. Stay True says trying to save the PDFs. They always trying to do that over here in Canada, man. They'll give a PDF like a 3-year to 5-year sentence, which is the same sentence that they'll give to a guy who just had a burner. You know what I'm saying? One guy just has a burner, like myself, right? And then another guy is out there like changing kids' mentality for the rest of their lives and sending them into therapy forever. You know what I'm saying? Changing the pathway that they go on in life because of the things that they did to that person. Give them 4 years. Welcome to Canada. So yeah, I just wanted to put y'all on to that, man, that, you know, y'all do your own research. I always suggest when it comes to any of these news stories that I cover, do your own research as well. And see if you know, keep your ears open. If you hear anything about Twitter getting banned in Canada and you never heard it before, then remember where you heard it first. I think that's all I got. We got a new episode dropping tomorrow, as usual, Thursday morning, 3 a.m. I got Danny from The Stop. who's pulling up. He's gonna be we did an interview about 2-3 weeks ago. Danny does a lot of coverage over here on YouTube of the Joe Button podcast. He covers Math Hoffa, Jesus Amaro, mostly Joe Button though. You know what I'm saying? If you ever watch those videos, Joe Button and Melissa Ford get into a fight. That's Danny from the Stop. So we got to have almost 1 hour conversation, got to find out a little bit about him, and we got to chop it up about content creation and where it's going. So big salute to Danny from the Stop. Look out for that interview dropping tomorrow morning, 3 a.m. on all streaming platforms. 6 p.m. we back over here for the premiere. All right, we are off of this. Deuces.